Let's do this. Get ready for the Dirt Life Show.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 90 of the Dirt Life Show. Tonight we have a fantastic show for you guys lined up. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Baja stuff that we just did this past couple weeks. And we are in Las Vegas, Nevada, one of our favorite towns. By these two guys, not a favorite town of mine, but for only certain reasons. Tonight's show, I still can't believe it's episode 90, and we really appreciate our featured guest, James Jaramillo, allowing us to come up here and hang out in his shop. To my far left, your guys is right, I got Rob from Liquid Molly. He's come up here to help us co-host the show. Man, Rob is always doing some really fun stuff in the motorsports industry. He's been traveling all over the country, hanging out with everybody. So welcome, Rob, and thank you.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you. It's awesome, and it's always a good time rocking and rolling with you guys.
I appreciate that. And like I said, our featured guest is James Jaramillo. James is a fantastic individual, first and foremost. James operates his own company. What's the name of your company, James?
It's called Stonescapes.
Yeah, Stonescapes out here in Las Vegas. They do a whole bunch of rad stuff. James has been a supporter of the Dirt Life Show since day one with his family, his friends, everybody. And James is, if you can't tell, he's in a wheelchair, but he used to be a dirt bike racer, had a spinal cord injury, and now he races professional side-by-sides like the Razor you see behind us here. James has not only been out on the track with myself, but he's been out on the track with tons and tons of professional drivers. He's one of the guys that you always look up to when you're at the track. He's just a fantastic dude in general. He gives motivation to everybody that he talks to, that he sees. So we welcome James Jaramillo to the show.
Thank you, George. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, it's pretty hot here in Vegas. I got to give you that.
It's really hot. We were good until last week, so last week really got us.
So we ruined it by coming up here?
I think so.
Maybe scheduling the show, we should have did it like 2 hours before, 3 hours before, just enough to give us enough time to come up here and not ruin it. So we got a really good show for you guys lined up. One of the things that we want to talk about today is racing in general. There's been so much racing that has started back up lately. I mean, Rob's been you've been at events almost every weekend, right?
Man, yeah, I was just I went to Sebring, I went to Laguna Seca for some Trans Am. I'm going to be going to I just got back from North Carolina, Virginia. We had some racing at VIR. And this actually on Thursday I leave for Ohio. We got the Lima, Ohio flat track race where we're going to be sponsoring some riders, and we're actually sponsoring part of the event, so we're pretty pumped. James Raspoli's our guy there, and he's been, he's a really good rider, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Liquid Molly's coming out in full force.
We're trying, dude. It takes a lot of work, but we're making it happen.
Well, so taking a lot of work and making it happen, like those are two things that we want to talk about today, and this is one of the things that James always actually has to put in a lot of work too. Any program in racing takes a lot of effort and a lot of resources, manpower, all that stuff. And it also takes sponsors to be able to come in. And one of the things that I want to talk about was my buddy Alex Stryler, who was on the show, maybe a few months ago. He did a fantastic podcast talking about how to get sponsors and how to be able to increase your value in your ROI and your racing program.
Absolutely.
And not just a racing program, in a business, wherever it is, right? He's also started I don't know what you want to call it, but it's basically a conference or a webcast that it's called Meet the Sponsors. So what he does is he has people come in and he talks to people like the guys from Permatex. He had the guys from Mechanics, Jordan Dull. And those guys give out the secrets that they're looking for when they're sitting at their desk looking to sponsor athletes. So it's perfect because you can see all this stuff. And meetthesponsors.com is a new resource that he has, and he's giving our audience the opportunity to share that now too. So you guys can get a discount and sign up through the Dirt Life Show and go join and be a part of his program. It's meetthesponsors.com, but you can get to it by going to thedirtlifeshow.com and clicking on sponsor deals, and at the top it's an affiliate link that just sends you over there. So click that link, and then we're going to track it and see how many of you guys go over there, research it, and do all that stuff to get yourself lined up to get some better sponsors in 2022. So what we're going to do is there's a book, I call this the Bible, Motorsports Marketing and Sponsorship. Have you ever read this, James?
I have not read it, but it looks like I really need to.
Yeah, it's really good. So you guys should definitely check it out. We're going to actually give this away to one of the people that signs up in the next week, maybe by Friday or next Monday. So go sign up for meetthesponsors.com. Check it out. He's got all kinds of different ways to access information. I'm not being a salesman. I'm honestly just really stoked that he's actually offering this stuff, because this stuff is invaluable. Like, this is stuff that I wish I knew during my racing career.
Oh, completely.
I mean,
so like from a driver's side, I'm coming from more the business side. From the driver's side, what are some of the big hurdles that you see, like a lot of people struggle with, or you've struggled with, or something that you might be able to share with them, just as far as trying to get sponsorships and stuff?
On the sponsor side, it's probably something that I need to actually spend a lot more time doing. So I might be the
every
person to
racer
ask.
says that, dude.
That's true. And I think with the racers, a lot of times what we look at it as, and I know just what I've noticed in a lot of conversations, because I'll see it from a little bit of both perspectives. I'm a racer, but then also a business owner within the construction industry. And when I look at it from a business owner's perspective, when you look at purchasing anything, you look at any type of new way to get your name out there, I'll understand what that ROI is. And being a racer, I'm hesitant to ask someone for help if I don't feel like I have a package to offer them.
100%.
And I think a lot of racers, me included, need to look at it more so than just the seat time and the car building, but how do we
100%.
make something attractive to a company to want to invest in us?
Dude, you nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a lot of the stuff that, like, right after that, like after that portion of the conversation, you need to understand what the companies want, and that's what Alex is trying to do, is show you what the companies want by literally interviewing the decision maker right there on the meetthesponsors.com.
It's awesome, and like you
Max
mentioned,
Eddy, what's up, bud?
you mentioned that a couple of those guys, like he brings them in, like we're all different. I might be looking at, but what I'm looking for and the goals of my company and our marketing strategy could be different from, like, say, a Red Bull or a Monster Energy or
100%.
Anybody else. So like it's huge that they get all those. He gets all those people together for their perspectives to give you an idea, and these guys who want these partnerships, an idea of what we are looking for on our end.
Yeah, exactly. And he does it every Tuesday. So we're going to actually do it tomorrow. I'm going to go down there and help him.
Sweet.
So it'll be pretty fun because I'll get a little bit behind the scenes. The Dune and Destroy guys just said, what's up, Dirt Life? What's going on, man? We got James Jaramillo here. You can check out that badass razor here. Let me switch to a different camera angle so you can see this
There
thing
it is.
with those street tires on it. Woo! Dune and Destroy guys, you think you guys could send that bad boy or what, man? Yeah, so we're going to do that with the Dirt Life. So go to meetthesponsors.com, sign up, and use the affiliate link at dirtlifeshow.com and click over there. And it's going to be good for you guys no matter what, man. It's really, really cool, the information that he's offering. Like, I've said it a million times. I literally had lunch with Alex this last week, and I was like, dude, where the heck were you when I needed this? Like,
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see how much that benefits everybody. So, Dune and Destroy guys want to send your razor, dude.
Make it happen.
And racing is really kicking back into, like, high gear, man. Like we just said with Rob, it's phenomenal. A couple of the things that you've done lately is you went to the Gas Series, which is the short course series on this side of the country, but you also went to the Midwest Series as well, right? The Champ Offroad Series?
Yeah, so we're doing both series this year. The when Lucas decided to be no more, we were trying to figure out a way to go racing. As George, as you know, it's been great for our family to have time to get together and everything. It's really one of our big things that we like to go do. And trying to find some type of a short track racing to go race.
Right.
We didn't know what was coming up in the West Coast, so I said, you know what, let's go make an adventure of this, and let's look into these Midwest races, and I've heard nothing but great things. So even if it's only this year, let's go get the experience, and we're going to do 4 of the 6 races, and if we get the bug while we're out there, then we might finish up with Bark, River, and Lena as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look, McLaren 101 says come east and race with us. Oh, I think James is already doing it, so
Yep.
it's pretty cool, man. Like, just getting out there and being able to race that stuff, like, on those different tracks must feel so good.
It is. It's really cool. You go out there, one thing, it's so green. I've never seen that much green. So I've been really happy about trying something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And to go see a lot of the people that you've heard about but never really raced against is really cool, too. And the dirt out there is unbelievable.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
How much different is it, like, when you're out there in the race car? Is it like...
So at Anago, it was off of a flat track, so it was a little bit more of a... on the oval portion of it, it's just typical, like, clay flat track dirt, so it got really blue grooved.
Right.
But then the inside of it was like loamy, just topsoil, what you would imagine was on a moto track, and it was
like
it was cool because we're used to just rocks and sand out here.
like chocolate cake on a motocross track. Dude, that would be so cool. What's up, Al? How are you, man? It's really cool.
AJ.
It's really cool to see some of the, and you can say hi to your friends too if they're joining as well. But man, it's cool to see that they're offering so much in the racing world right now. I mean, just the fact, like, did you watch motocross this weekend?
I didn't watch it yet this weekend.
So it was a full tilt motocross race again. There was, like, I don't want to say no restrictions because I don't know that, but there's fans, tons and tons of fans. So like when those guys got off the track, they were, like, the dirt bike riders were fired up because everybody's yelling and screaming so hard. It was fabulous.
Oh, yeah, in Anago, that's what I realized with all of last year, how much of a big part of our racing that is.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you feel like you're at a track day with your buddies.
Yeah.
But when I was at Anago and they had full stands, and also Midwest fans are definitely different than out here.
Bar none.
They're into it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
What's the biggest race that you've been to with the Midwest fans, Rob?
I haven't been out to the Midwest really yet.
You went to Florida, didn't you, recently?
Yeah, but there wasn't really. That was in February, and there were some fans at Sebring for that Trans Am race, but it wasn't like open yet. But VIR was open. It was pretty cool. It was pretty rad to see some people out there and people having a good time. And
so it's kind of locked down.
Yeah, I mean, well, like earlier, yeah, but VIR was the first like open event that I've been to, and it was cool. But it's not like a super fan dance kind of event where like a short course or something like that. I'm excited to see that. I did go to the Great American Short Course Race out here in Glen Helen, this last one.
What'd you think of that?
It was pretty cool, man. They're running a pretty cool program. I was hanging out, saw some old friends, saw my buddy Jeff Shelton, Kyle Knott, old people I knew from K&N, and it was good to see people out on the track again and see people up in the stands having cold ones under the sun and enjoying some racing, dude.
I'm so stoked that it's getting back to racing like that. Yeah, and Riley said it's great to see sports coming back. It totally is, man. I can't wait till stuff's back to like full normal.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be so cool.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, thank you guys very much for joining us. We really appreciate all you guys being such a big integral part of the show. I mean, I was telling Rob on the drive up here, like, I can't even keep up with all the direct messages and everything. Like, all the support that you guys are giving us is fantastic. Like, we really love it. Just like James has been a supporter of day one, there's a lot of you guys since day one. A lot of you guys have been a supporter since day one, and we really appreciate it. So the more attention that you guys give us, the more I want to work my butt off and try to make this thing as good as it is for you guys. I'd never, ever thought we'd get to episode 90. It's just fantastic. And
it's still growing.
I know, it's so cool, awesome. Right? Like, I love to see it, and I love to see all the people so pumped on it. So thank you guys very much for being a part of it, and we really appreciate all the sponsors for being a part of it as well. We had such a good time down in Baja the last couple weekends, or excuse me, a week and a half ago, and it was really cool to see everybody supporting it so much. I just love that everybody's so into it. Like, it couldn't actually be any better in my opinion. So thank you to the guys over at KMC Wheels for giving us the opportunity to go down to Baja and for supporting the show. You guys are fantastic. Thank you guys at EFX Tires for being a part of it as well. You guys should go check out wheelmerch.com. You can get KMC hats, you can get KMC apparel, you can get EFX stuff. They have all kinds of rad stuff over there at the website, so check it out. Once we get an affiliate code, we'll give it to you guys so you guys can check out some tires and wheels and things like that too. Thank you to the guys over at Zollinger Racing Products. Also on the sponsor deal page on the dirtlifeshow.com, you can check out Zollinger Racing Products. You can check out Shock Therapy as well. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com, or you can give them a call and just tell them that you want some stuff. I saw a Shock Therapy sticker over here on the refrigerator.
Yeah, on the refrigerator.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. We really appreciate you guys supporting them as well. And you guys can also check out the guys over at Solderweld, solderweld.com. Use the code DIRTLIFE. You can save on off-road repair kit, welding blanket, all that good stuff. And then Josh over at Cryo Heat, man, he's always doing a fantastic job with metal treatments and making your car faster with less rolling resistance and stuff like that. So check out cryoheat.com, and please support everybody that supports us, because they are our lifeblood. They're the ones that make us or gives us the opportunity to bring you the show. So we really appreciate it. And thank you to the Liquid Molly guys for offering up Rob for the day, letting us use Rob's fantastic voice. He should have heard some of the stuff he was saying earlier.
Full radio voice.
Yeah,
everyone tells me that, but I hate my own voice. Like,
isn't that everybody when they hear it though?
They're like, you got a great voice for radio.
Here recording. I don't know what's going on with this Instagram thing, so we're gonna.
It keeps darkening it. Maybe we gotta just turn off the screen.
That's all right. I'll just keep getting up and down, getting my cardio in.
Yeah, there you
We really appreciate what you do. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate you chiming in. So shout out to Solderweld and Lance Robinson, one of our sponsors in the motocross as well. Well, see, there you go. So we're talking about marketing. Just putting a comment out like that, letting us know that they're supporting you, that's a good thing to do for them. So we really appreciate Solderweld being a part of any type of motorsports. So like I said, James Jaramillo is our featured guest today. We're going to have a great time with James. We're going to have Shelby Anderson. She's going to chime in on Instagram in a little while here, probably around 5:45 or so. Hopefully we can get Ronnie Anderson and RJ Anderson. Maybe we'll get the whole crew in one show.
Get the whole family.
I don't know if it'll happen. Ronnie said he was pretty busy. RJ said he might be able to do it a little bit after 6 o'clock. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and see if those guys can chime in. So you've been friends with them for a long time, haven't you, James?
Yeah, quite a while. I've been friends with Shelby and Hot Rod for probably almost 4 years now, and then met Ronnie and RJ a little bit after that.
That's pretty cool. It's neat to see how the motorsports community, like especially side by sides, just comes together like that.
It really does.
It's just fantastic to see, and like, because they all came. Well, I don't want to say came from motocross. Like you had a lot different motocross career, but when we had Shelby's episode, like it was like forever ago now, but she was telling us that she started on PW50.
Oh yeah.
So she started on two wheels too, so I think that's pretty cool. It just, her mom was like, nope, no more.
Yeah. Yeah, moms will usually have that opinion, I've realized.
Right.
Even on a PW50. She said that the PW50 is probably buried out in Riverside somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Has been for 3 years now. Yeah, Solderweld's a good company, man, so keep it up, Riley. Those guys, Lance over there is an awesome dude. I'm assuming that you guys probably live somewhere in Utah, but I'm not sure. You'll have to let us know. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk about today are a little bit different than what we usually talk about. Like last couple episodes, we talked about the Baja 500 just because we had such a good time down there. But there's a whole different side of motorsports, right? Like, we all love racing. We all love going to the races. We all love being with our family and friends. But there's also an element of danger, an element of injury, and there's an element of, I don't know what you want to call it, perseverance. And perseverance is the most important one out of all those, because at some point in your life, everybody's going to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
But it's how you come back from being hurt that's the most important. And James has a fantastic story of not just coming back from injury and being an able person to be able to live his life. He's a professional racer now.
Yeah.
And what do they call your injury? Do they call it incomplete quadriplegia? Or?
Yeah, so I'm incomplete quadriplegic is the, like on the doctor's note term for it.
Okay, gotcha. So the functionality that you have is you can move your arms a little bit.
Yeah, so I can move my arms, but not my hands, and I have my biceps and shoulders, but now that we're on video, we can all see, like, I can't stretch my arms straight because my triceps don't work. So right here, I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah, and you can't
yeah, but then I could do a curl if I needed to, and then I don't have anything to squeeze my grip.
Gotcha. So that's some of the stuff that we're going to get into. And I don't want to talk too much about the functionality that you do have or don't have, is because I just want to lay that down as the baseline, because what you do with your body is insane. Like, it's insanely cool. And every time I'm around you, like, I want to be a better person. And you don't even say much. You just do. You're like one of the guys that just does, you know what I mean? Like, when you're thinking about something, execution is one of your specialties. So it's really cool to see that, and I want to make sure that we bring that to life, because that's one of the cool things about motorsports is James was given the opportunity to become a dirt bike racer at a younger age, and that's what formed him to be the person that he is nowadays.
Yeah, pretty awesome story, man. That's pretty rad.
It is cool. And if you guys haven't seen, we actually had James on the show probably just over a year ago now, I think.
Yeah, I want to say, probably a year and a couple months.
Yeah, so you guys, if you want to get a little bit more of James' backstory, you guys can go check out the archive. We have it on YouTube, and we have it on Facebook, and we also have it on the dirtlifeshow.com. You can check it out. Excuse me, and it's also on iTunes and things like that. So you can check it out and get a little bit more of his backstory and understanding of his injury and how he got hurt and stuff like that. But I think today we should focus mostly on the things that he does now, because I don't race short course anymore. I would love to, but James still does, and he does a great job at it. Why don't we lay a little bit of groundwork down with what you have done this year as far as racing goes.
So as far as racing goes this year, definitely had a little bit lighter of a year as far as frequency of events go. A couple of years ago, I was trying to pack as many works races and regional short course races and things in the schedule that I can. And now I've decided to prepare a little bit more and just selectively choose the ones that I want to do so I can be ready to go for it. And so we did the first 2 Great American Short Course Series races. And we just did Anago in Wisconsin about 2 weeks ago. And we're getting ready to go to Crandon on Thursday.
So with where we're going to get into this a little bit, but let's keep laying down the backstory a little bit, is you racing those tracks. You've done a lot of racing on the West Coast for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Racing on those tracks, was it a lot different than racing on the tracks here on the West Coast?
So Anago size-wise was about the same, and from what I've been told and just looking at the layouts, that's a little bit more of the small one. It's almost like a fairgrounds in a dirt track style race, so it's felt really similar to Glen Helen about the size and how tight the turns were in the straightaways. So I felt really at home at that track. But like I told you, once we got to the infield and felt the natural dirt, I realized that we have something a little different out here, and this will be really fun.
Right.
And but I'm really looking forward to Crandon and ERX because those are 2 of the ones that I've been told you just have to go out and do.
Did it remind you a little bit more about motocross?
It did, especially on that infield section because it was a lot less of a manicured track.
Nice.
Like when we got out there for our first practice, it was a couple of course markers in the grass, and we ended kind of like Daytona Supercross.
You just cut your own line?
Yeah, and then by the end of the weekend, there was a whole line cut in the grass.
Sweet.
Dude, that's super cool. Especially in a side-by-side, man. That must have been so awesome.
It was.
David Clay just commented in, how hard is it to get into short course? Can you just show up and pay an entry fee, just like a desert race?
As far as licensing, I want to say you need to get a little bit of approval, but it's not too difficult. You just need to show that, talk with the race directors, and I think they want to just make sure that you're not going to go out there and put anybody in harm's way.
Yeah.
And after that, it's get your car safety legal and go on out there.
Yep.
For a guy like David, hi David, by the way, good to see you, brother. It should be good because, I mean, he just went and pre-ran the 500 with you guys and was doing a bunch of that stuff, so he's no rookie to this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think he might be asking as more of a little bit of a generalization, but James just answered a little bit, David, in relating to himself too. So yeah, you can just go and show up, but safety is the number one thing that all of the organizations look at. So when you go through tech, you obviously have to pass tech, but you have to be able to show that you're not a danger on the course, first of all. So if you're an able-bodied individual, you got to show that you're not a shitty driver, that you can actually go out there and wheel a car.
Right.
If you are a shitty driver, they probably are going to suggest that you don't go out there and race because you're going to be putting people in danger. And then if you do have some sort of limitation and your body needs some sort of assistance, like me, I had to get approval for a shifter that was different than the normal clutch on a YXZ. James has to get a little bit of assistance with the way that his doors lock and the way that he steers the vehicle. Actually, you should get into that a little bit right now. Maybe tell people a little bit more about your setup.
So my setup, I guess, first off, how George said, for me to get in and out of a car, I can't do it myself, so I need the guys with me to help lift me in and out. And because we run a full containment seat, so when you're in there, I mean, you're 8 inches inside of a seat. You're not sitting on a bench anymore.
You're locked in.
Oh, yeah. And we have a door that hinges with 2 just positive lock deadbolts on it. And like you're saying, I remember before my first Lucas race, I spent a couple months emailing Lee back and forth of the right design to make sure we do it correctly. And what I did is we realized that I have a lot more strength down in my lap because I don't have my triceps to hold my arm steady. So all my strength is mostly right down here versus trying to fight a steering wheel up there.
Right, you can use leverage where it counts.
Yeah. So what we did is we have a really strong power steering box, and this is revision probably 7 of all the cars we built.
Revision 1900.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a 90-degree gearbox that puts the steering wheel flat in my lap so I could steer it kind of like a bus or a sprint car.
Right.
And then we have a latch on the seat that lifts up, and then that basically hinges up, and the steering wheel gets out of my way for me to get in and out of the car. And then on the left-hand side, I have my throttle and brake that we put on a bell crank down underneath me. And I pull back for throttle and press forward for brake.
That's super
That's
cool.
rad, dude.
But there's also some stuff that's even crazier in my mind, Rob. He has in short course racing, you have to pull tear-offs and you have to be able to communicate on the radio.
Right.
Tell them how you do that.
So on the tear-off system, I found a guy that does motorized tear-offs. It's I want to say his company's called Mud Muncher. It almost looks like a camera roll, like an old 35 millimeter Kodak camera roll. I'm sure half the audience remembers
Mud
that.
Muncher's
The
a
other half
funny
doesn't.
name.
Yeah, I was kind of curious how they came up with that.
Mud Cruncher.
Mud Muncher.
Yeah, but so that's something that a lot of the guys on a lot of the sprint car guys and a lot of the Midwest guys will use, like a little radio button on their steering wheel. But as Hot Rod says, I ran out of moving parts because I can't pull a trigger with my finger. I can't hit something with my thumb. So when I go to full throttle, I have a heel radio button that guys will use on their feet.
Yeah.
And I have that on the side of my seat. So once I hit full throttle, I'm in a position that I can whack my elbow in.
Yeah.
And I jab my tear off. So on the start of the race, it's basically pinned, getting splattered with mud, and then you're just hitting the thing as hard as I
Tear off.
can.
That thing.
And my big problem right now is
So the tear-offs go with the left elbow.
yeah, left elbow, and then my radio is on the right elbow, and so I can't do any radio while I'm driving because I'm steering. But if I go to full left wheel lock, I'm in a spot that I could dab the radio. So
We need more left-hand turns for James.
yeah. Oh no, more right.
Right.
more right.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He's right, and then he could just jam that thing.
Dude, NASCAR would be perfect for you, buddy.
I know we thought about it a little bit, but I love the dirt and the jumps too much, so it's hard to give that up.
Oh, that's awesome. It looked like a couple people wanted to join us on Instagram as well, but we're going to, I might be, Shelby says she might be a little late. It's taking her a little longer to get home. Hey, that's the California life, dude.
Yeah.
Traffic
Yeah,
is
it
always
is.
worse. There's a couple people that wanted to join us. Riley actually said that he wanted to join. Would you like to talk to him right now?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. This is going to be the first for the Dirt Life show.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to
Call it
actually
in.
see if Riley wants to talk with us here on the show. So actually, let's even see if the iPad works, dude. See if we can get him on. But we accepted you, Riley, so see if you want to talk with us. What's up, buddy? How are you? I don't know if we can hear you there, Riley. Might have to speak up a little bit, bud.
Yeah, I'm not able to hear him.
I'm not
Yeah, I
able
don't
to hear
have
him
anything.
either. So let's see what I got here. Riley, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there it
Okay,
is.
cool. We got you, bud. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is actually Jeremy. I'm Riley's dad.
Oh, Riley's dad. So you guys are from Arkansas, huh?
Yeah, we're from Northeast Arkansas. We got hooked up with Lance and Sotterville about 3 years ago. We had a bad instance with another promoter and everything like that, but we got in touch with Lance and they got us hooked up with motocross, and so now we race with Sotterville there with everything that we run every year, every week, every month, every day we run.
That's pretty cool, man.
Awesome.
What a good sponsor plug that Jeremy just gave us to Slaughterwell, right?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for doing that, man. We really appreciate it. Do you guys do a lot of side-by-side stuff out there then?
No, I've got buddies that have side-by-sides, but it's more for fun. Right now, we do mostly motocross and supercross, stuff like that. Though.
Hey, stuff that
Yeah,
we're
something
into big time.
Oh yeah.
Lance has actually talked to us about, he's looking at trying to promote more motocross and supercross, stuff like that, too. So,
Yeah, he does a really good job with all his programs and diversifying all the people that he talks to and sponsors. So we really appreciate Lance being a part of our show, and it's cool that he's a part of your program as well.
he's been a great promoter for us, and he tends to share a lot of our videos and pictures on their site for Hollywood. So.
Hey, so Riley must be doing a pretty good job kicking ass out there, at least getting all his videos shared.
he does his job as long as Zach can do his.
Hey, that's the way it goes. Happy Father's Day, by the way, man. It was cool to see that all the fathers got so much love this weekend at the motocross races in, where was it? In High Point, Mount Morris, Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much.
Well, we really appreciate you giving a shout out to Solderwell, dude. And please tell Riley to keep kicking butt.
I sure will. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
too.
Thank you very much. That's pretty cool, man. Hey, did you see the motocross race this weekend? Did I already ask you that?
No, I didn't watch it yet.
Okay, so, dude, I'm not going to be a spoiler guy, but it was intense, dude. It was insane. Like, I could not believe how crazy it was. Like, I don't know how to actually to end it, yeah.
There you go.
I think, Jeremy, you might have to press on it and hit the X so you can get out of there, because I don't know how to end it, buddy.
All right.
But it was so intense, dude. Like, it was crazy. The second 450 moto, like, you could fast forward the whole race and just watch that, and you'd be fine for the whole season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, you wouldn't have to look at any other racing for the rest of the season. Like, you'd be good. But it was cool for Father's Day as well, that all the fans were there and everything, too. So I want to say happy Father's Day to my dad, too. Hopefully he's watching the show. Did you have to get to celebrate with your dad as well?
We did. We all had dinner together last night.
Where'd you guys go?
Just over at my parents' house.
Oh, nice. Those are pretty good?
We did. They brought in some Thai food, so that's always a good choice.
Oh, that does sound pretty good right now.
Yeah.
We've been living on road food all day, so.
Yeah.
That's what I saw, the Wendy's bags.
Yeah. Junior bacon cheeseburger, baby.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. So, what's up, Tyler? How are you, man? So, yeah, I did want to talk a little bit more about the camaraderie stuff and a little bit more about the support mechanism. So, James has a fantastic support mechanism around him. It takes a team, no matter what it is, whether you're able-bodied or not. You have an injury, whatever it is, it takes a team to be able to go do all these motorsports and any type of racing. Off-road is a special community, and we all support each other. You have tons of people that love supporting you. We just got to see Jagan today. It was pretty cool. So that was neat to see him. John was here. Got Mikey over here as well, sitting on the couch. You might be able to talk to him a little bit later. But it's neat that you have all the support mechanisms to be able to accomplish your goals.
It really is. That's the thing that every time I look back at it, that I just feel the most blessed and fortunate to have, because I look back at the group of people we have involved, and I'm thinking that I couldn't have accidentally picked all these people. It's just unbelievable how well it got designed to be where we're at right now.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because you don't think of it, but all of those people care so much about other people in general. You know, like it just neat. It's like those the people that open the door for you, and you don't even know who they are, like at a gas station or wherever it is. Like, that's the type of people, right?
Completely.
So it's cool to see that, and for you to be able to go out there and race, it's a little bit different because you guys don't operate the program the same way as a normal racer would.
No.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you guys have to do different in preparation for you to get to the track?
So yeah, I'd say for us, just getting there almost feels like a win of the event all by itself, and because we need, I mean, like in Anago when I went, we had I think we had 6 of us there. I had Jagan and his brother Carson had to drive out the truck and trailer a couple days early. And then we flew out on a Delta flight, and I went with John, who helps us basically big picture, crew chief, everything.
Yep.
And then Jagan's learning a lot. He's only 19 years old, and he's learning a ton. He's going to be really good here in a couple of years.
Yeah, but he's the master technician on the
Master
crew.
technician on it. He's the one that has his fingers and hands on everything.
He really does, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good. And then I had my girl Stephanie. She helps me out in the morning, just kind of get up and going, because I need someone to, especially
Stretch.
when I'm at a stretch, kind of just do all the get up and going things. Especially at a hotel, then I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, so it's not like I can just try my luck at my house. So we had, there were 6 of us to go down for just that one race, and I was thinking about it. It's something that, say me, if I was able-bodied, I'd be able to do me and a buddy.
Right.
But then for the situation, to make sure everything's just right, we had about 6 of us to make all that happen. And it's cool because it makes it more of an experience with all the people you're with, and then the racing's there, versus getting too aggressive about the race and getting too concerned if your tires aren't right or something like that.
Well, not just that. First of all, it's like what you said. It could be your buddy and yourself going out to the races, and that's fantastic, right? But when you do see stuff like a situation like yours where you have all the support mechanisms, it really does, like, not just appreciating being at the races, it really makes you appreciate life because there's so many caring individuals around.
It really does.
It's pretty sweet. Have you seen any instances like that in the late races that you've been to lately, Rob?
Just like similar to his situation, or just
No,
in
I would
general?
say just in
racing
general.
community together?
Yeah, the supporting and the mechanisms that make these teams work.
Thankfully, it's been like early enough in the season. There hasn't been anything. Well, I guess you could say. Well, that was kind of last year, King of the Hammers.
Right.
You have people like Sarah Price, who and a couple other people up on that hill, who are taking parts off of their car and giving it to people so they can finish the race.
Yeah, and
I think that's a huge testament to it too.
Absolutely, 100%. And it just shows you how giving and awesome the off-road community in general is. So, more kind of on the on the subject of James. When he goes to the races, it's a full-fledged effort, man.
It is.
Like, it's super cool to see. He's done works racing. Have you done the UTV World Championship or any desert races yet?
I did the UTV World Championship, I think 4 years ago.
So that's almost a desert race in itself. And then short course racing, it all beats up your body, man. So it must make you feel pretty good when you get out of the car that you were able to accomplish it.
It does. It's funny. Every time you get, and I don't know if this is the same for someone that's able-bodied. George, you could probably let me know a little bit more on this. You get lined up and you just see all this machinery around you. You hear all the engines. You smell the fuel.
Dude.
And you're thinking, what am I doing with myself? Like, why am I here? And then once it starts, then the free feeling of just being out there, you start going through the corners. You're chasing everybody down. And then when you're done and it goes well, it's the most accomplished feeling that you could have for that moment. And it's just so cool to see all the pieces come together, and then you're chatting with the guys afterwards about, say, what happened in turn 2, and it's just a really cool experience once you're all done.
And those emotions are exactly what we have the show for. Like, because we all felt those emotions when we first started getting into off-road or the dirt life, and your family is a testament to that. Like, every time you have we'll call it a little victory or even a huge victory like that, you come off the track with a smile on your face, everybody in your whole family and your crew has that same smile.
Oh, yeah. No, my dad's ecstatic to be out there. It gives us something to go a little getaway with the trip, and the whole crew, they're looking forward to what are we barbecuing afterwards.
Yep.
It's just a good time.
We were talking to Lindsay Geyser a little bit, when was it, last week or something? But anyway, she was saying her vacation is when they go down to Baja and go to the races and stuff. Like, that's what she enjoys. Her whole family is looks forward to those trips.
Oh, completely.
Is that kind of how your family does it too?
Yeah, that's exactly how we are. And mostly me and my dad are the ones that go together. And it's funny because I've done it a lot just by myself, just showing up, and I realize how much better it is doing it with him.
Yeah.
It makes the experience a lot better.
Happy Father's Day, Paul.
Yeah, Dad, happy Father's Day. Yesterday I saw you, but George says happy Father's Day too. But for me and him, I remember in January he'll come in my office and say, "Hey, one of the races, I'm ready to go."
Yeah.
So it's just something that we look forward to doing, and it's great.
It sounds like he gets fired up. The real Joey Mack joined. T. Cobber joined. Thank you guys both for joining. Brooke Jensen. Hi, Brooke. How are you? And then Kyle Combs My Hair. That's a pretty funny name. So Kyle Combs My Hair joined too. So we really appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with us and myself, James, and Rob. It's pretty cool that we get to hang out and just talk shop in James's shop with you guys.
And on Facebook, we got Sean. Thanks a bunch, man. We appreciate your support. He says, love the show, valuable information, all the guests.
Dude, you're going to have to be the one that reads that because I got a cable in my way over here.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you, Sean, dude. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we appreciate everybody on Instagram and making this whole thing possible.
Yeah, we really do appreciate that stuff. And like I said, for those of you who didn't watch James's previous episode, please go back and check it out. He really has a lot of great things to talk about, overcoming injuries and things like that. The level of perseverance that James has in his mind is just phenomenal. Can you talk a little bit about the way that you can function with your body. Can you talk a little bit more about the details of what the car has to be able to do when you have those pumps and certain things? Because steering a steering wheel is pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
But not for you.
No, so for me to steer a steering wheel, someone will jump in. This happened with quite a few of the cars we've built in the past. We'll get it with the person that's helping us drive the car or build the car. They'll go drive it in the parking lot and say, I can steer this thing with my pinky. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And I get in it, and I'm nudging the steering wheel and can't get it
around 90
degrees. So, but then, so what we figured out we need to do is make something that had basically zero effort to it. And we've had to follow where the technology went, because remember at first we did really heavy-duty hydraulics, and then I did an electronic steer-by-wire, almost like a remote. And that worked out great because the hydraulics, there is no center. It's kind of like driving a bobcat, or sorry, not a bobcat, a loader or a forklift, where it just, the valve just keeps spinning and spinning. So you need to always find the center. And since my hand's locked in one spot on the wheel, I'll come into a corner, say my hand's at 3 o'clock going into the corner after the jump, but I come out on exit, and then now my hand's at 12 while the car's still going straight. So you're always trying to figure out like what the car is doing, not what your hand's doing. And so when we went to the zero assist, basically full robotic steer-by-wire, I didn't even have a steering shaft on the car. I had the steering wheel hooked up onto a little sensor and then a big motor down on the steering rack. And that made the car drive straight. But then what the problem was is it, and you remember this, when I was causing all of our yellow flags in the first Lucas races I went to, because you don't have any feel of the car control, so it's not like the accurement of the car brings it back on exit. So I'd still have the car all bound up. I get on the gas, and then it just hikes itself up and flips it.
Right.
And within the last couple of years, there's this company called DCE that's made a really strong power steering motor, electric one that they use in like the Le Mans cars and powerboat racing and things like that. And so I got in touch with them, and we made the gamble to try to see if that would actually work, because it put a steering shaft on it. So if you were to drive my car, you probably wouldn't feel that there's any resistance with the ground at all. But for me, it's all programmable, so I have it set up really light, but light enough that I can still feel what the car's doing. And that was a full game changer for us, because I had a positive feel with the car.
Fine-tuning it to you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's rad.
Dude, that's insane.
Technology's nuts.
Well, the technology, but like think about having to invent something that you
Right.
have no idea exists and making it your own. Like, that's phenomenal.
An engineering feat.
And James is not an engineer. He'll be the first one to tell you. He just
Right.
thought it up and figured it out.
Yeah, no, I just like tinkering with things. I'm definitely no engineer.
Well, tinkering, and you said you're on what version now? 1900?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
0.2.
969?
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool to see that, though. And again, to go back on the camaraderie thing, you wouldn't have been able to do that without the support mechanisms that you have.
No, not at all. I remember I was talking with my friend Ralph. I'm sure half the people on the podcast in the off-road community know Ralph Chadwick. But what he was telling me, he said, what you've needed to build, you can't pay somebody to do it.
No.
It's really just a bunch of good friends putting their heads together, and the ones with enough talent can help pull it together. And wanting to stick through the end of the project, and then being okay with me nitpicking the details of what needs to move a quarter inch closer or further away because I can't reach it. So it takes a lot of patience on their part too.
Dude, we'll let James answer this, Rob, but how many times would you have just said, fuck it, I'm over it? Like, because I guarantee you there's nights that he didn't sleep at all.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah. Like,
Spent a lot of late nights in here trying to figure all that stuff out.
yeah, exactly. You're sitting here and here till 2 in the morning and you're like, dude, I don't know what to do.
And you're in too deep and you can't turn back, so you just keep going. And
It's nuts, dude.
So it's by force.
yeah.
The resolve, though, man, to keep driving and pushing forward.
Who was the one that, were you the one that thought of most of the ideas on how to be able to create the solutions that you have in your car?
Yeah, so my friend Dean is the one that pointed out the idea of having the wheel flat in my lap. Probably, this was a Lucas race when he was helping out. I don't know if you guys remember Ricky James.
Yeah.
You know Ricky.
Yeah.
So he was helping him. He helped him do his circle track program and the off-road program when he was
Yep.
doing those super lights. And me and him were just talking about some ideas, and he saw me pushing my chair, and then he saw me reach for something. And he said, wait, you have way more strength down low than up high, so let's think about this down like a bus.
Nice.
And that is one of those key ideas that just got the whole ball rolling. And then after that, a lot of it's been me with deep internet searches till way too late at night, trying to look at Euro race car parts and everything like that.
To figure it out.
Yeah, and then just like I'll come up with a lot of the big picture ideas, and then I've realized there's a big difference of being the guy that comes up with it versus the machinist that can actually make it possible. And that one's been a lot of just good friends and people I work with and people that wanted to stick the project all the way through.
Yeah, to be able to move through it. Rob, put the mic a little closer to you. I don't know if Mikey's listening to us, but if he is, he can come over here and just wave his hands around a little
Mikey.
bit behind the screen. And he can come over and wave his hands. Because Mikey was one of the people that was integral. Just wave to everybody, Mikey.
Wave on camera.
Mikey was one of the integral parts of your program at the beginning stages, right?
Oh, completely. Especially when I've first met Hot Rod and Shelby. I mean, how many nights were we here putting the short shocks on the works car and then taking
Rob,
them
can
off
he borrow
and
your
then getting it
headphones
to go
for a
straight?
second?
And
A lot of nights. They're a
Yeah.
little sweaty, dude. I don't know if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, so some of those late nights, though, are pretty intense, right? Like, how many times were you in the shop until, I don't know, God knows, 11, 12, 1 o'clock?
I don't know if you want to ask him what time. So, some late ones.
Sometimes he slept here?
Yeah.
Quite a few times, yeah, actually.
Well, we really appreciate you. I just wanted you to come over here, wave hi to everybody, and thank you very much for being a part of James's program. It's neat to see that people really do care about not only James, but off-roading in general, and have compassion for their other fellow humans.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah, so what's next on your program with James?
Whatever he needs, I'm always there for him.
See? Perfect
Yeah, Mikey's
answer.
always here a phone call away, so he's always here for us.
Yep.
Even if it's hot as shit in Las Vegas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, man. I'm here.
That's cool, Mikey. Well, hey, fist bump for that, dude. You're doing a good job, and I know James and everybody else around him appreciates it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's neat to see that camaraderie, man. Like I can't get enough of it, like in my life and understanding of it, because it's phenomenal for me to see. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, truthfully. Like, I just think about it in my head. Like, there's so many homeless people walking around, but at the off-road races, everybody's helping each other. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's begging. Everybody's just there to support.
Oh, completely.
It's so cool, man. So it just makes me happy to see, like, he's out here supporting you, and who knows? Maybe there's nothing for him to gain. He's just a nice guy.
No, and that's what I realized with a lot of people out there, and well, one that I'm involved with, and I feel like I have a very blessed to have a very unique group of people around me. But a lot of times you think back, like, wait, what's in it for them? Like, why do they even care? But they're just those people, and that's what they do.
It's so cool, man. You have family like that as well, Rob?
Yeah, we've always been like, my dad worked for an adoption agency for a long time. I'm actually adopted, and he actually ended up going and working for the lady that facilitated my adoption.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so like we were always like an open door home, and helping people out, friends. Like I went to school with and played football with some people whose parents like just wouldn't feed them or anything, like straight up, like nothing in the fridge, and we made sure that they could always come over and hang out with us, and it'd be a cool, safe place where they can hang out. And so we were always, through the adoption agency and my dad's work, he was also a pastor at a church, so we were always, he was counseling people at the house, and the McLogan house was very much an open door. You guys are all welcome to come, and that's
fantastic. There's so many humans that aren't like that nowadays, but to me, you just basically summed up what the off-road industry is like as well, like the dirt life. Everybody, like in my situation, I grew up where there wasn't paved roads. Everybody supported each other. Cars went off the road. You went out there and you helped your fellow neighbor kind of thing. It's the same thing, and it's phenomenal to see that all of these people grow into these racing teams and all of this stuff, and they just help each other. Yeah,
it's awesome. It doesn't even matter who's on what team. It's always, people helping each other out, and it's great. I love that about racing.
Evan Star Racing says, our crew is all about family and friends, or is all family and friends, and we couldn't do it without them. And that's how so many of these people are, man. We got Seth Quintero. We gave him a ride up to Vegas today, and he was telling us, man, he's really working his way up in the off-road racing. He started out as a really young kid, but he doesn't have a huge fancy shop. He doesn't have tons of money coming in. He has opportunity, and he has hard work, and he has good ethics. You know what I mean? So for him to have that and utilize all of that to his benefit is fantastic. So it's just the same, man. It really is. So I think it's awesome that you have such a good support mechanism, but most of it came from dirt bike racing as well, right? Like it kind of transferred over?
It did. It's funny how it's a lot of the same things from dirt bike racing kind of brought into car racing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'd say a big part, it's one, the people that are involved are very similar. But then, too, I remember, like my mom was saying when I was younger, get up early before I had to go to work before it got hot and go and practice on a sand track. She said that's kind of what helped you out with your injury.
And work hard. Well, it looks like we got Shelby Anderson on Instagram Live. Hi, Shelby. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome. We just switched over on the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live so everybody can see your pretty face. So thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Shelby.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hey, James.
How long has it been since you've seen this guy?
Oh,
too long.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been too long for sure.
Hey, so real quick, what have you been working on lately? I know you've been a busy girl.
Yeah, I recently left Sparco, and I'm starting to pursue like my own marketing and management thing for racers. So that's been pretty scary and exciting at the same time.
Definitely, I bet.
I have a few people now, but yeah, it's exciting for sure. It's just kind of doing that jump from kind of having the security of having something stable to jumping to something else where you're unsure of where it's going to go. But so far, so good. And yeah, I'm just kind of seeing where it goes. I'm just fresh at this, so
That's awesome.
we'll see what happens.
Jamie Bradbury also said, "You go, girl." But it's kind of cool because, well, James knows this too. Now Shelby's actually using her education.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very few people do that, so Shelby's lucky that she's doing that.
Dude, Shelby's charging life hard right now.
Exactly. Using her full
The
degree.
opportunity struck, so I decided to take it,
Good.
and yeah, so that's where we're at.
Good for
Hey,
you.
well, all three of us over here are very proud of you. We really appreciate that you're coming on and hanging out with us, too. Shelby, I don't know if you met Rob, but Rob's over here to James's left. Rob,
Nice to meet you.
Rob works with Liquid Molly.
to meet you.
He's awesome dude as well. Hey, so we already asked you this, I think, on James's other show, but how long have you known James for?
Oh, wow. It's been a while now, like what, 4 or 5 years at least?
My guess was 3 or
think.
4, so
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
we'll
it's
settle
about
on
4.
four.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're a little short, dude.
I might be.
James been spending too much
It's
time
been-
working on his business. He needs to focus more on his social experiences and racing.
Yeah, no kidding.
What was the first initial thought when you met James? Were you like, dude, this guy is crazy. He's trying to go out and race a side-by-side?
Well, at first, I don't know. I think we've talked about the story of how this all came to be to begin with, was because Larry Jobe, like, we knew Larry Jobe from short course racing, and then James knew Larry Jobe also. And he usually came out to the races with James, and he couldn't one time in Havasu, and he was like, hey, my buddy James is going to be there. Do you mind if he camps with you? And my dad's like, yeah, for sure. I don't, like, that's fine. And so we're like, all right, cool, we'll look for him. And then James pulls up, and my dad's on the phone with him. My dad had talked to James, I think, before then, right?
Yeah, that night, because I got your guys' phone number after dinner that
Yeah.
night, because I went to dinner with Ralph, Larry, and my dad.
Here's that whole camaraderie thing that we've been
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so my dad and him had talked, and so when he showed at Havasu, my dad was like, oh, he's here. Let's go grab him. And so we walk up, and my dad goes, is that a wheelchair in the back of his truck? And I'm like, yeah. And then we walk up to James, and we're like, hey, are you James? And he's like, yeah. You guys are with the Walk Ribbons trailer, right? And we're like, yeah. And then Miss Full opens his car, and we're like, he's about to race in Havasu right now. It was crazy, but and then when we got out, my dad goes, oh yeah, jump in his car and unload it. And I get in the thing, I can't even find the throttle. There's no pedal. There's nothing. I couldn't figure out where the steering wheel was. I'm like,
Yeah, I think the steering wheel's on the ground. You should just put it on, and then it'll work.
That's hilarious,
awesome.
man. I love that story so
and
much.
Oh, it was so funny. But yeah, and ever since, it's kind of blossomed from there.
Hey, you might know the guy that just chimed in, Seth Quintero. He said he's your biggest fan.
Yeah, Seth. It's funny. I just found a picture of us from when we were like, I think it was like 2014 or 15, and he was tiny. Like, he was probably my shoulder height, and I'm not big. So he's tiny, and I've known him for a long
Going
time
way
now.
back.
It's cool to see.
It is cool to see.
Yeah, we go way back.
So a little fun fact, not to get away from James's story, but Seth got a ride up to Las Vegas here with Rod and I today. And so we got to hang out and talk with him a little bit. And right as we're coming into Vegas, the OT3 team, the Red Bull OT3 team, was testing out there. And we got a peek of their little pit stop. And we tried to see if we could catch Mitch coming down like a road, like as he was testing, and try to get a little Instagram banger. We couldn't see him, man. He was way out there. So Seth has a long week ahead of him testing and stuff like that in this hot 110-degree weather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
It's been nasty. Like, even here in SoCal, it's been ridiculous. Like, I think it was 109, I think, the other day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's been hot.
Yeah, in Temecula it was 109. Dude, they're fighting over who's your biggest fan. Jamie just said that she's your biggest fan, and then I don't know who 4C Leverton is, but she's your biggest fan too.
Yeah.
We are Jamie.
Riley is James's biggest fan.
There it is.
Yeah.
We are James' biggest fan.
There you go.
it is.
I'm James's biggest fan too.
Hey, so now you got two biggest fans, James, but Cryo Heat's one of the sponsors of the show, so what do they help you with?
So, cryo heat, I've talked to Josh years ago, and I had a transmission built with him and everyking.
Hey,
and
speaking of engineers, dude, that's a smart motherfucker right there.
oh, he knows his stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
he talked
he's
about
bad.
things I didn't even know existed. So,
He's an awesome dude for sure. That's cool that he's part of your program.
yeah.
So Shelby, what's one of the funniest stories that you've had over the last 3, 4, 5 years? I don't know how long with James. Other than the one where you had to unload his car.
Other than the time we met and realized what was happening.
Actually, you know what? Let's change it up. Let's change it up, and it would not be one of the funniest stories. Let's be one of the most emotional stories that you had, like when you did a good race or something.
There's been a few. I feel like, honestly, like I wasn't even there, but it was one of the first Lucas races. My dad had been like texting me and stuff the whole time, and he told me James got like top 10 or something, and we ended up watching it later, and it was just like, just seeing James like come from so like far to where he's at now has been crazy to watch. And even his first race when we went to the regionals, I remember it was just crazy to kind of see him adjust from Works to Lucas, and it took time, but like so much testing. And even when we went testing at Glen Helen one time, like James and I straight up battled, like in my Lucas car, and we had drone footage and everything of us just like going at it, and it was so cool. It's
Awesome.
just so cool to see.
Yeah, that was still one of the
James
most
kind of-
fun driving days we've had.
Just the experience behind the wheel
it
of a
was
car.
So fun.
Yeah, that day was a ton of fun in Glen Helen that she's talking about.
Was it? So Shelby, one of the most memorable things that I've ever had with James was I remember going out on the track and James was with us, and I kept thinking to myself, like I kept looking in the rearview mirror, and I'm like, dude, he's not that far behind where I was, like in 5th or something, I don't know. And I was like, he's like right there behind me. And then I ended up watching the race afterwards on MAV TV or whatever it was on. And I was like, holy shit, James was literally battling behind, like right there with every single dude. Like, and I remember you finished that race and you were like, dude, it was like bringing me back like old school motocross.
Oh, completely.
Like, I don't remember where it was. I could have swore it was at Wild Horse, but either way, I just remembered like hearing it from James. He was like, that was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to have those.
That's awesome.
It's incredible to kind of like see, like I feel like you guys even both are like the epitome that if you want something bad enough, you're gonna make it happen. Like it doesn't matter what the circumstances and what the situation is. If you want something bad enough, you're gonna do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that's even why I admire James so much, because like both of you, your guys' lives could have gone such different directions, but you're like, no, I'm going to do this. This is exactly what I want to do. And so I'm going to figure it out. And it took James, as soon as the first razor came out, like he knew what he wanted to do, and they made it happen to be able to have him be able to drive and do what he wants to do. And now he's doing it successfully. So it's been really cool to watch. We kind of watched the past few years, even just his hand control setup. Like that's way above my head. Like I can't even get into that because my brain doesn't even work.
There's been a few times when James starts talking about it, and I'm like, we gotta like, I gotta figure out how to tell him like to switch the subject, because I don't know. I like lost him a long time ago.
Yeah.
Has there been any races? Because I know there's been races where the car breaks or you tip over or whatever. But has there been any races whether either you finished or you were going through it or whatever, and you get off the track and you're just like, dude, I could have done so much better if I had only changed this, like.
Oh, I'd say most of them.
Really?
Yeah. And I'd say a lot of it now that I'm got my friend Spencer that does a lot of driving coaching with a lot of pavement guys, and he's been helping me quite a bit and just helped me understand, kind of like what Shelby, when we were all racing together, she was helping me a ton of just like understanding there's actually a driving skill. It's not just go out there and hit the jumps and pin it.
Right.
And now learning how much is not really so much about the car, but it's what you do with it. And say if your car is starting to push, well, then what are you going to do as a driver to make sure that doesn't happen? Because now that you're on the track, you're on the track.
Right.
Figure
More
out the
brakes,
setup
less
later.
brakes, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd say now, especially in the gas first race of the year, I had couldn't get my brakes figured out. I just had almost. It was when I saw you. I had almost no brakes. And I came into a corner too hot, couldn't lock up the car, and then hit all the cars. And I'm telling myself, like, well, my brakes didn't work, so that's what happened. And then Spencer's telling me in very brash terms, no, you failed as a driver because you knew that your brakes weren't working, so why did you go that hot into a blind corner? And then once I started thinking about that, and then...
kind of a dick thing to say, but it's really the truth.
No, it really did. And then from then on, I said, you know what, I got to tone it down and just be more patient while I'm driving. And it's helping you, as cliche as it is, finish all your laps, so then you can then place good in the race versus trying to go be a superhero on lap 2.
Yeah, exactly. And so actually, Shelby, there was a reason that I asked James that question, and it wasn't because I wanted to know if he had a bad race or not. It was because I want to talk about the positive things, and the positive thing to take from that is James's mindset, because you can tell him the truth, and it doesn't matter what he does, he wants to be a better person, whether he wants to be a better racer, a better human being, a better son, whatever it is. Like, he's always looking forward. Like, it's so hard for any human being to have that mindset. Like, and we're sitting next to the dude. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, that's even in my life. Like, what I've learned is I would have a bad race, or I'd have something in my life happen. And then it's something like that that I would always reflect on and be like, how can I even be mad at, like, the smallest thing in my life when, like, James's life was changed so drastically, and look at how happy and positive he is. Like, he's got so much faith, and he's so positive all the time. Like, I genuinely don't think I've ever seen James mad.
Oh, I saw him pissed once. I think it was at Prim last year at the final race. You got out of the car and you were pretty fired up.
Oh, yeah, that's when they changed the track schedule, and then I missed my practice.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Shelby, you were there too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, actually, I got a funny Shelby story on this one, too. So I had my cameraman, Alfonso, with me, too, and he caught this clip with Shelby. I was already gone. He just goes up to Shelby at the end of the race and goes, Shelby, didn't you have a light bar? And she looks at her car and she goes, oh, I did.
Ripped it clean off.
I don't know what happened to that thing.
No, the funniest one was of that weekend is he was, like, filming me, and they had so heavily watered the Lucas track, like, and I knew that they had watered it, so I came into the turn, because that's when we did it backwards at Prim last year. And so I came into it slow because I'm like, okay, I'm going to spin out, like, something's going to happen if I don't just approach this slowly. So I did, and then someone came and drove straight into the back of me and rolled me over. And so he sent me that video, and I was laughing so hard because I was like, I said, this guy just came, and he had to have known that it was slippery, and he just came into the back and smashed into me and just drove straight over me and kept going.
Oh, was that when your dad was sitting there? Was that when your dad was sitting there listening to you and he just walked away as you were yelling?
Yeah, and I was like,
That's awesome.
She was in full conversation with her dad. Her dad looks at her and then just, like, takes a stroll around the side. And Alfonso turns the camera right to Shelby.
Yeah, like, he was just sitting there stealthily having the camera, and then I looked over and I was like, oh, he's filming me.
I should see if I could get that clip and post it online because it's hilarious.
Colorado's trying to disappear from the camera.
I'm sure I do.
I think Colorado was trying to disappear from Shelby yelling.
Oh, yeah, you want to do
he's
that.
like-
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here.
SoCal Big T said that he met James and myself at the Lucas races, inspiring just racing, but in life. Well, we really appreciate that comment, man. It's really, really cool to hear that because James is not out there trying to inspire, but he really does a good job doing it. He's just out there trying to live his life and do it the way that he wants to. So it's pretty neat to be able to see that stuff's rubbing off on other people. Obviously, it rubbed off on Shelby a little bit after the first day she met him.
Yeah, no. And even after just seeing the process over the past few years of what it even takes to get James into the car, like, any normal person would be like, oh, that's too much work. I don't want to do that. Like, why am I going to put this much effort? But it's just the mindset that's so different that it's just crazy to see. Like I said, it takes so many steps just to get James in the car, not even to get him to where he's racing, like, just in the car. And he's always just happy, has a smile on his face, even if he has the worst race ever. He goes, oh, well, I could have done this different, and I just won't do it. Like, he just has the best mindset. Like, it's definitely who I look up to.
Hey, so if it was 110 degrees out and you had the choice of sitting in your office and working and eating a nice, delicious sandwich or getting in a hot-ass race car and going out and racing for 30 minutes, what do you pick?
Do I have my cool shirt in the race car?
Yeah, you can have your cool shirt.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
I'll
race
do
car.
that then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Exactly my point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If there was no cool shirt, I don't know if I'd make it 30 minutes. I'd probably be asleep after 5. So
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see that because sandwiches are really delicious, and James still picked to go in the race car.
Okay, wait, James. On-shows or racing?
racing then on shows.
Oh, you're picking both? Look at him.
Well, they're right by.
Shelby, did you see the smile on his face when he said that?
He knows on-shows. He knows the power of on-shows.
I mean, it's right by Glen Helen, so it's the perfect. I'm wiped out from the Glen Helen way to finish the day.
Yeah, and the tortillas there are delicious.
Oh yeah, and the little fried cheese dish.
I didn't get that. Is it
Yes.
awesome?
Where
Oh,
is
yeah, you
this
gotta
place?
try
So,
that. Yeah.
Dude, I
grew up in Upland, and I don't know where the heck this place is. That sounds
Riverside.
awesome. Oh, it's in
Yeah.
Riverside?
It's really
we'll
good.
have to go. Shelby, when we go next time, I'm going to take Rob. You can show us what the good stuff is. Because
Yes,
on the
tell
menu,
me.
I need the awesome parts on the menu for sure. So,
the bacon wrapped shrimp.
dude, see all this stuff that she's
Yeah.
Sounds
talking about.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So,
I used to work at K&N in Riverside, and we were always hunting for good lunch places, and now I find out that this place existed the whole time.
so now James is going to go out and win the race because he wants to get the anchos faster.
Yeah, so we don't have to do any fixing, so we could just go and enjoy the night and go eat some good food.
Do you guys usually park next to each other when you guys are at the races?
Oh yeah, when we'd all race together, and I still say that's one of my more favorite times that I've had is racing with Shelby and Hot Rod, because we were probably. Sorry, I got a little muscle shake.
Yeah,
No
go ahead.
worries.
I'd say we were twice a month for probably a good 18 months meeting up somewhere to go racing, whether it was Warks or a Lucas race.
Twice a month?
Yeah,
That's a lot
yeah,
of freaking
this-
racing.
For whatever reason, 2017 had a packed schedule.
Dude,
And,
we were always together.
Yeah, we did
Like-
all of them. And yeah, Hot Rod would have all the pits lined out before we get there. If we were gonna get him a little traffic uniform because you go out there, he's like directing traffic, pointing everywhere, telling everyone where to go, and he sets up
The hot
like,
rod
the-
safety crew?
Oh yeah, no, like he's got all the motorhomes just right. Like he has the whole group perfect for whoever's coming.
That's
and
awesome.
Really?
make, like, a
He's
big
like,
ring
nope,
around
5
it.
feet up, 5 feet up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shelby, he's easily like
Like,
that.
he has the cones, the caution tape, like everything mapped out.
Oh, he's
When we
that
get
official?
there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's legit.
Yes.
Dude, I need a guy like that in my life. Maybe if I go to the races next time, I could park with you guys. That's
Oh yeah.
perfect.
No, invitation's open because he'll have it figured out.
Dude, that's sweet. Especially if the Sprinter van, because that thing's like just a big old block.
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty cool that you guys are able to do that. And that just shows the camaraderie, right? Like, we're making fun of Shelby's dad, obviously, because he's such a perfectionist with parking. But the thing that you have to take away from that is he wants everybody to be together.
Oh no, completely. And I remember, kind of again back to that comment that you just made. When I first met Shelby and Hot Rod, it was there's a handful of times in your life when you meet people and you're like, this is something different. And I remember when I was sat chatting with Hot Rod after practice in Havasu, chatted with Shelby for a little bit. After about 20 minutes, you're thinking, did I just meet lifelong best friends? And I mean, we all chat.
It's like stepbrothers.
Easily
Do we just
once,
become
twice a
best
week,
friends?
Yeah. So it's really cool.
That is pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
And that's the whole camaraderie aspect that makes the dirt life, right? Is because you would have never met them had you not just loved playing in the dirt so much.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, Shelby. Well, we're all gonna have to go to Ancho's together for sure. But if you could see where James's crystal ball, if you could look into a crystal ball and see where James's future is going, what would you say?
I would say that it's going very far up in the racing world. Like, even just from a marketing standpoint, like, there's so many things that James can do. Like, besides just racing, like, he's such a marketable being that he could go so far, so many places. It's just, and he has the car figured out. He has everything. He's doing well, and like, we can make that happen for sure. Like, I think we can totally just do really well in racing, as well as even just like an inspirational person to people like to look up to.
Hey, so Rob, what were we talking about? The future of marketing will be on
Dude,
the
yeah,
way up here.
100%. It's funny because, like, yeah, we were just having that talk about, you know, where we think it's going, what's cool now, and yeah, just more of the like more intimate, in-depth, get to know the actual individual. I said it was almost like a reality show kind of a vibe to it,
Right.
where you're really getting to know these guys beyond just the fluff pieces and the sizzle reels that you see a lot of times on social media and stuff. Maybe doing some mini series and stuff, and really diving in to see what goes on in racing. Not just that, hey, I show up on race day and I hop in the car and I win, but like all the struggles, the grind, the teamwork, the everything needed, the ups, the downs, the dialing stuff in, the failures, the successes, all of it. So that's going to be cool.
I know it's easy for us to say, like, just as individuals, and I don't know if James would be interested in doing this, but Shelby, I've always told James that if we could follow him, like, on a daily basis, it would be awesome. But, like, let's just say 2 days before a race and just follow his journey to get to the races, and then 2 days after of seeing how he feels, and really tell the story of what it takes for any individual, able-bodied or not, to get to the races and show that story. Like, I would probably cry in joy. I'd be so stoked to watch something like that.
No, and that's the thing too. Like, it's more than just, like, even social media, I've noticed it's, at least for me, how it's worked out is people want to know, yeah, it's cool that I race and stuff, but people also like to see that other part of your life when you're not racing. Like, you do more than just race. You do other things besides just race. And it's also important, I think, to share that part of your life and not keep them separately. That's always been me on social media. If I had a race and I did well, yeah, I would post about it. But also, a few days later, if I went to the beach, I was posting that I was at the beach. Like, I think it's important to see all aspects of people's lives, and even James, more importantly, like, doing a day-to-day, like, even just following him for a week leading up to a race, showing what it takes for him to do what he's doing, because he also has a really successful business. Also, people don't see that side of him. Like, he has a very successful, I guess, I don't know what to call it. You do curbs and sidewalks and
Yeah, we do concrete,
stonescapes
curb,
and
sidewalk, building slabs.
concrete.
Yeah.
And so, like, he has that extremely successful side, and then he also has this program together. So just, like, showing that there's more than just the racing, I think, super important too. And just like you said, doing some sort of a lifestyle thing would be really cool.
I think it would be super cool. Maybe that's something that you think about in your program for next year or something.
No, I would definitely love to do that. I'm definitely not the one to sit there and brainstorm how to put that together, but for me, it's always been tough because as a racer, you're just always told more social media, more social media.
There may or may not be a marketing genius on the call with you.
I might know someone that we might be having to put our heads together here later on today.
Hey, I can tell you what, though, there's going to be few and far between that want to sit and film in this 110-degree weather.
Yeah, it'll be a fall thing.
Yeah, you're going to have to hire a really, really, like, fit intern to come out here and do it.
Yeah, can we do it in January?
Well, I do really appreciate you taking the time with us, Shelby. I know you're a busy girl.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I got the opportunity to hop on with you guys. It's always fun, especially James, knowing him so well. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Do you got anything special or a funny story that you want to tell about Shelby before she gets off?
Oh, geez.
I just told one. I guarantee you have one.
Oh, no, I've got a couple really funny ones, and I'm trying to remember, like, on the spot which they were, because I remember there's been some that have put us in tears.
Let's see. Jason Voss, 2021, commented in and said, in 2007, an American man named Corey Taylor tried to fake his own death in order to get out of his cell phone contract without paying a fee. Is that like a spam thing? I don't know what that is on
Yeah, I
Instagram.
don't know.
So that sounds like a pretty gnarly story.
Yeah.
It sounds like a pretty crazy story, but I don't really care about people faking out their cell phone bills. Just pay it and get to the races. That's what we care about
That's a
here.
fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is a race show, guys.
Yeah, we care about the racing. So what were you gonna say about Shelby?
Oh, funny story about Shelby. I'm trying to remember. I'd say my favorite are listening to her and Hot Rod on the radio together.
Why is that like
She knows
hilarious?
what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah.
Whoa! Did you get to
yes.
wear the comms and listen to the
No,
race?
I'll just sit next to Hot Rod, and it's
You
great.
can't hear her saying anything back though.
No, she doesn't need to. And because that's our favorite thing with Hot Rod is once it's race time, he flips a switch of nothing else matters in the entire world.
Except for winning.
Yeah, up until like probably 5 minutes before. I remember one time I flipped my car, and I was getting back going, and I was like, hey, I got to put my legs back in the holder. He's like, no, I don't care about your legs. Keep going. And
awesome.
and he is that committed. Like, I've had alternators go bad on the starting line. He's bleeding his knuckles trying to get it fixed within 30 seconds to go, and most people would call it a day. And then he turns it off right afterwards and just hangs out and grills hot dogs. And I'd say some of our funniest times, I think, are sitting back and just seeing how all of our personalities work together. That's just a blast.
That is hilarious.
Oh, Rod sounds like the man.
Hey,
he's
let's
one of my favorite
let's
people.
let Shelby defend herself. So what's he saying to you on the mic? And then you're like, dude, what the heck?
It depends. Sometimes I'll be racing and he'll be like, they're coming up on you. They're coming up. And it'll go from 10 seconds, 5 seconds, to 5 seconds back. And I'm like, Dad, stop. You're making it so much worse. I get it. They're coming. And even just things that are like, come on. They're right there. You got to get them this lap. They're right there. And he just is like, I swear he doesn't take his finger off of the talk button my entire 45-minute race.
Oh, like he's not listening to you talk back. He just keeps talking.
Oh, there's been times where I've accidentally, yanked my radio off.
And I didn't want to go and say it,
Because
but
it's
that's one of my favorite stories when she accidentally has the radio come unplugged.
Oops.
Oh, yes.
What happens in the stands when you're on the spotter stand and Rod does or doesn't know that she's pulls the cord out?
I don't think he realizes, actually. He keeps going, which is the best. Well, because none of us really realize, too.
He
So.
still talks, because I try not to talk back on the radio, just because I'm trying not to get my mind unfocused, but he, yeah.
So
I would literally, like, he would either think I rolled and I got out of the car, or he would either think that I'm just not listening and driving until he sees me come back around.
So I think I got one at least positive piece from that is that if a spotter doesn't know whether you're talking or communicating back, they still are supposed to talk to you for the rest of the race.
They are.
To make sure that you're still safe out there, even if you can or can't hear them. That's hilarious.
We
dude.
got Eva Star Racing said her dad did the same thing.
Really?
It's a dad thing.
Yeah.
I'm convinced it's a dad thing.
Isn't there something that says that you're not supposed to have a fan, like a parent or a girlfriend ever be your spotter? Isn't that like a something that's like
Makes sense.
I think there might be an unwritten rule somewhere.
yeah, somewhere
about
like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why when I was in trophy carts for a long time, Troy Adams spotted for me and not my dad, because I'm like, you're like, especially when you're young, you just have this mentality that you're like, you're my dad, like, why are you right? And you just, it's just so different. I don't know how to explain it.
That's hilarious. I got a funny.
I've seen it and it's fun with kids.
Yeah, totally, and adults too, like husband and wife teams and stuff. I remember my girlfriend at the time was spotting for me at Lake Elsinore, and it was the only time she ever spotted for me. Thank goodness. But the only thing I heard ever on the radio was not like go go go, it's green, nothing like that. It was like, oh my God, watch out, stop, slow down, like. And
I
I was
would have
like,
just boom, unplugged it, dude.
and I get back and I go, how was the race for you? And she goes, it was so frustrating. I didn't know what to do.
That's awesome.
I could just see Rod doing that, but the way that he covers it up is by telling Shelby to get going.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, thanks for joining us, Shelby. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to come on with you guys, like I said, and I appreciate the time.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to talk soon and get some of your marketing partners on the show as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I'm going to do a shameless plug again. So we got this motorsports marketing and sponsorship book. We're giving it away. So go to thedirtlifeshow.com/meet the sponsors or click on meet the sponsors, and you can sign up for Alex's course at meetthesponsors.com, and you could potentially win that book. So I think it's a good book.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I've actually seen that for the past few years, and I've always told myself, man, I need to get this. Man, I need to read this book. But that's my sign. It's time.
Yeah,
I need to just do it.
He's doing like these really cool courses at meetthesponsors.com. Every Tuesday he has a webinar or a workshop where he does, like last week, I think, or the week before, it was mechanics. And they tell you all of the things that they want to hear from potential new partners. Like, so if you're on a race team, you just watch that, and you know exactly what kind of deck you need to provide to that company.
Yeah.
Shelby,
And
how
that's
about
super important.
we both read it to keep ourselves accountable on it?
Yeah, there we go.
And
We go chapter by chapter and then evaluate at the end of each chapter.
oh,
So
like
yes.
like a study session. Oh, look,
book club.
there's even mod cart guys right here. I don't know who those guys are, but it's even got mod cart girl. Is Shelby in there or no? McMullen?
Mullen.
Dude,
Oh, that's old.
Dude, that's cool though. Fast kids, man. Well, like I said, thanks so much, Shelby. Really appreciate it. Anchos soon.
Anchos soon. Let's do it.
All right, we'll see you later. Thank you
That
so
was good.
much.
Great meeting you.
Shelby, tell everybody I said
Bye,
hi.
guys.
Bye.
All right. So good. Bye.
It's so fun always talking with her, man. She's really just a breath of fresh air, right?
Oh, completely. Even before I met them, I remember at the track, everybody knows Shelby, and she's always like on the works races. You know how you do those land rush starts, and it's row after row.
Yep.
She's chatting with everybody and gets in her car maybe 30 seconds before it's time to go off. I don't know how she has the timing figured out on that.
Just to make sure she's hanging out with everybody
Yeah.
and being a good person. Man, I think we're getting spam comments now. I don't
That's
know what
okay.
it is.
It's more engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
Pumping you up in the algorithm, baby.
Getting our social media going. So, like I said, the camaraderie in those stories are really, really important and really, really just fundamental, I think, in the whole racing environment. Like, if we went to the races and it was boring, we would never go back, right? Like, it's so fun to be around your family and friends. I mean, you just said, like, Hot Rod's just cooking hot dogs, right? But that's meaningful. Like, that's a fun time.
Yeah, no, even when you're frustrated working on cars, you're doing it with people you enjoy doing it with, and it's a fun time doing it.
Aaron Baker, what's up, man?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for joining us, Aaron. We really appreciate it. It looks like Aaron wants to join us real quick, too. Let me view these requests here.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool part of, like, the community, though, like we were talking about earlier, is, you know, everyone's kind of downshifting, and then you can have dogs and just some barbecue and
Yeah.
more memories, man.
No, it gets so tuned up, and then it turns right back down. It's
There we
great.
go. RJ trying to come in.
Yeah, let me go live with RJ. Aaron, maybe just wait a second and come in. I'm going to have RJ Anderson join us real quick and hang out for a little bit. See if...
What's up, boys?
What up, RJ?
RJ, what's happening, buddy? How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Dude, we're just melting up here in Las Vegas. It's like literally so hot out here. It's crazy.
I see you had the favorite Anderson on first.
Is that how you guys battled in favorites?
It's all right. She can have it.
She got home a little earlier than you did, I think. Or are you still at the shop?
I'm still at work.
Man, have you guys been working super hard lately? I know that you guys have been racing a lot.
Yeah, the midsummer is kind of like thrash season. I would say from now until really through September is kind of wide open. So it's on the go a lot here lately. We leave Wednesday for Crandon. Then we got 4th of July the weekend after. We get to come home for that, and then we race in ERX the weekend after that. Texas the weekend after that. 1 weekend off, and we're going to Sturgis for a race out there. So it's kind of wide open right now.
Dude, that is kind of crazy. And so which of those races are you going to go to, James?
I'm going to be at Crandon and ERX.
So both of those. When's the Crandon race?
The spring one's this weekend.
Oh, so when do you leave?
Thursday.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
When do you guys leave, RJ, or did the truck already leave?
My semi's in Kansas right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we fly out Wednesday.
Holy cow, man. Dude, so you guys are really in the freaking meat of it right now then.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Are you really looking forward to going to Crandon then, James?
I am. It'll be cool. I'm still trying to keep my head above water with the schedule, so I don't know how RJ does it with his schedule being more stacked than mine is.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. RJ keeps it light, though. So the Crandolina wine mixer last year, do you think James is going to enjoy that this year?
Oh, James is gonna have a blast at the Crandolina wine mixer. So this is the first spring run is like the warm up for the Crandolina wine mixer. It's
okay?
It's like the yacht parade over to the island, and then the big island party is in the fall.
Is this anything like the season closing banquet from last year that we missed out on? In Lucas?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot like that, except for a little bit crazier.
Oh wow,
dude!
Crandon is its own animal. If none of you guys have been to Crandon, especially for Labor Day weekend, it's something that even motorsports fan, doesn't even matter if you know anything about off-road, you got to check it out.
That's what I hear. I hear they get like 50,000 people up there and they pack the place.
Yeah, and I don't think they care about COVID at all.
No, they don't.
No.
They're there to see some racing, baby. That's what it's all about.
So I want to go to the one in September, that's for sure. That's the Crandolina Wine Mixer event, though, right?
That's the full-bore Crandolina Wine Mixer. It's the World Cup weekend. It's their big show. I think they get around 30,000 fans out there for that one. Most of them all camping. They had Kid Rock 2 years ago.
No way!
No, it's legit, dude. It's nuts, yeah.
Kid Rock?
They don't play around.
You know Kid Rock, he's like $100,000 or $1 million or something for a show. Like, he's like insane.
I believe it.
Dude, they're rolling out the red carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge deal out there.
Hey, I don't know if you know who else is a huge deal out there, but that guy's won it a couple times.
Just a couple. Yeah, I used to work for K&N and stuff, and I would be doing the posts and stuff. I've done some work with RJ a couple times at the shop.
Oh,
Killer,
right on.
dude. Killer on the freaking content and all that. Good to see you again, buddy.
So RJ, over here to my left is Rob McLogan. I don't know if you remember him or not.
Yeah, my good buddy Derek McCauley's a good buddy of his too. So.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
SoCal dudes.
Yeah, K&N's actually right like a mile from my race shop, so we do a lot with them guys. So
Speed MJ said, "What's COVID?" With the middle finger. That's hilarious.
100%.
Hey, so we asked, what'd you call her? The best Anderson? We asked Shelby what the coolest
Anderson.
We asked her if she had any funny stories about James. So we're gonna ask you the same question. Do you have any funny stories that you can remember off the top of your head?
What I love about James is how positive their attitudes always are. You go to their camp, and it could be James could have just gotten a crash, his car's broken, he needs help getting it welded, and no matter what, you can talk to anyone in their camp. They got smiles on their faces, and that kind of like energy, like it wears on people. You spread that kind of energy. So you could go to our camp sometimes, and we qualified 5th, and we're like throwing wrenches and all grumpy, and you can go over to their camp at any time of the day, and they're always just so happy, and that's what racing is all about. I think it reflects on us because we get caught up in the moment sometimes and forget like why we started doing all of this, and I think their camp just fully portrays that whole family aspect and having fun doing it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. And that's one of the reasons that I like spending so much time with James when I see him at the races, is because that is the vibe. I just love it over there too. So, do you remember the first time you ever met RJ? I know you remember the first time you met Shelby.
Yeah, I remember with RJ. I'm trying to think because I know we've always just kind of stumbled across each other over the years. But when we all started racing Lucas together, I remember again bringing it back to Shelby and Hot Rod. They're like, "Hey, come park next to us." And then
was RJ Pro Light at that time?
I think RJ was Pro 2 and Pro 4. And were you doing all 3 trucks?
Whoa!
Or were you just doing just 2 of them at that time? Like 2017.
Yeah, I was doing 2 at that time. It was Pro 2 and Pro 4. That was my first year doing both Pro 2 and Pro 4.
Yeah,
2017.
I remember like we're out there just trying to figure out what way's up and just how this whole thing goes, see if it's something that we still want to do. And them and their whole family was super just welcoming, and we all just clicked and got along, and good time having dinner together and everything, and just ended up making a habit of it.
Were you just like, dude, I would love to drive one of those trucks?
I was still trying to get my head wrapped around the Razor. It's funny, outside looking in, until you get on the track, even driving something that feels slower, you look at the big truck and you're like, that's almost too overwhelming to even think about.
Yeah.
But it looks like a whole different animal.
Hey, so you guys want to switch it up? I know this is one of RJ's favorite games. You want to have like a 3-question battle, and Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader?
Uh-oh.
RJ actually did really good when he was up against Ronnie. Him and Ronnie battled so hard.
It was a nail biter.
It really was. Hey, you want to join him, Rob?
I'm in, dude.
All right.
Let's do
Hey,
it.
how many questions you want, RJ?
I think
As least as possible.
All right, we'll go with like 4 or 5 then. All right, your name is your buzzer, boys. Okay? Your name is your buzzer.
Okay.
Do we still got a good connection with you,
don't
RJ?
know.
Because I
I
want to
see
give
it's
you the
bad.
best advantage possible.
I don't know. Am I coming through okay?
Yeah.
I have like the worst Wi-Fi in my shop.
That's all right. We'll try it again here. So, all right, boys.
There it is. He's back.
Your name is your buzzer. How many minutes are in half an hour?
Rob.
James.
Rob.
RJ.
Rob got it.
Oh, I did? I thought he got
No,
it.
go ahead.
How many minutes for half an hour?
Yeah.
30.
Okay, Rob got it. 1. So keep track of your score. Rob won. All right, count to 1 so that we can give RJ a little bit of an advantage too.
Okay.
If it's 5:30 when you leave for the store, and it's 6:15 when you get there, how long did it take you to get to the store?
James.
All right, James.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. That's pretty good. All right, RJ, they got the whole shot on you. You're going to have to get them in the first or second corner here.
I know. I think I got some lag too. This isn't helping me out.
All right, I'll count to 1,000 afterwards, and then you guys, and then RJ can just answer. So, okay, what is 25 times 3? 1,000.
Rob.
RJ.
Yeah, did he get the lag?
Let's give it to RJ this time.
For sure.
All right, go.
I'll admit, I was pretty quick on the first 2, but I was a little slow on that one.
What is 25 times 3?
75.
Got it, dude. All right, you guys are tied up. So we got one question left for the tiebreaker. So this is for all the marbles. We're gonna give RJ 2 seconds here. Ooh, this one's actually a really good one.
The final countdown.
The person in a novel who tells a story from a third-person perspective is called what? 1,000, 2,000.
Rob,
All right, Rob.
the protagonist.
No, not even close,
I know what it
dude.
is.
That wasn't even
James.
close.
I know what it is.
James, you
I
go.
blew
Look up the
it.
narrator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blew it. As soon as I said
even
that,
know.
I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" It's the narrator.
All right, hey, Daniel said it's not enough. He wants more questions. Or maybe it's not enough. Maybe the lag is not
Last
enough.
time they were all questions like that last time. I didn't know any of them.
Okay, here we go.
I shit the bed so bad on that one.
All right, let's keep going.
As soon as it came out of my mouth.
All right, RJ, you ready for this one? Which planet
Yeah, I'm ready.
is closest to the sun? 1,000, 2,000.
Rob, or is it just for RJ?
No, we can have everybody.
Oh, I was gonna say Mercury.
Dude, got it. How many points do you have now? You got 2
do
points.
I lose one for the idiotic freaking? I should lose one for that stupid
you
answer.
get a minus. You get a minus point.
Protagonist. What was I thinking?
Oh, but this one actually should be good for James. A landscape where the most prominent feature are trees is called what? 1,000, 2,000.
James.
Yeah.
If I get this wrong, I'm really going to embarrass myself.
Yep.
It's called a arborscape.
Oh, that's a way more technical answer than the third grade
Forest?
question. Yeah, Ron, you got it.
No, but
Okay.
Arborscape's more legit.
I thought you were
That's
talking
more
about, like,
scientific.
landscape. that's
I kind of
made.
feel like we should give you 2 points for the arborscape
sure.
answer, dude. That was gnarly.
Yeah, that's a treescape, forest, same meaning. Yeah, for
An
sure.
arborscape. Hey,
That was legit.
Do you want to have an arborscape over at the shop? I think we could know a guy that could do it for you.
To be honest, that might not even be true.
Protagonist,
I-
Arborscape.
Where's Bob Ross when we
You
need
guys
him,
are
dude?
speaking
Yeah.
Spanish.
They're like 8th grade questions. We're over here in 3rd grade right here, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. We'll
I don't
give
think they taught this in Riverside.
we'll give RJ 1 for the comeback. What resource covers most of the Earth? RJ, you get the first dibs on that answer.
Water.
Nailed it, dude. Nailed it.
Schenkelberg said it's a stripper snake. Forest.
Oh
Is that what I
my
was
god.
thinking?
No, I think it's Arborscape.
Arborscape?
I think that's the stripper's name.
She's a nice lady.
Arborscape. She's so awesome. Next on stage, Arborscape.
To the main stage.
Dude, for real. This show is turning into a shit show, man. We got to quit the 3rd grader questions.
Time for the big boy stuff.
Hey, so being a multi-time Crandon champion, what's the advice that you can give over here to our buddy James, since it's going to be his first time going over there?
Crandon's a lot to take in. Honestly, it took me a few years to get my hold on that track, just because one of the tough parts coming from the West Coast, we race guys that are out there testing year round, and that's where they go to practice. You know, we have Glen Helen, that's where we test, that's where we tune. They have Crandon, that's their jam. So it took me years and years of bad mistakes before I started making the proper ones. So the best advice I could give is to take your time and not rush it, because it's a big track, it's a fast track, and mistakes bite you really bad there.
Yeah, I guess because you're going at such a higher rate of speed, right?
That's true. It
Yeah,
looks so open and flowy.
Yeah, but what if you catch a
Yeah,
rut
it-
going
yeah,
that
you're
fast?
done.
Yeah.
I think I've made the highlight reel the first 3 times I went there, unfortunately. Not for winning.
That's cool. Well, if you guys do end up all parking together, which sounds like it'll probably end up happening, you got to have a good coach to be able to help show you the lines and give you a little bit of advice.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. Be a fun time racing together again.
Yeah, the hard part about Crandon, and I don't even want to jinx it, but I think this is the 3rd time I've been to Spring Crandon, and I've never been there without seeing a tremendous amount of rain come down.
Oh, I hate that.
So we saw a little rain in the forecast. I thought it was going to be a little Vegas shower. I don't think that's going to be the case, sounding like what RJ's saying.
Oh, is it like a tornado downpour kind of thing?
I don't know,
It's
RJ,
not
is it?
It's not quite tornado, but I mean, it comes down, and it's insane what the track crew can do out there. They can take 2 days of straight rain. You give him a couple hours, couple classes on the track. Hopefully maybe you guys are brushing the mud off for us. But that thing comes around. I've seen Crandon fully underwater, like standing water in the turns. And by the end of the day, it didn't rain and there was dust. They were watering the track again. It's crazy what they can do with that track.
I don't think Jagan's going to like it if you get mud all over your car and he has to take all the mud off.
No, he's been forgetting to spray the WD-40 on it before we go out, so then it makes his
job twice as hard.
Power washing a couple hours longer.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's horrible. Well, when you said you leave on Thursday, RJ?
We fly out there Wednesday. We got to get the semi all set up Thursday for practice on Friday. So.
And when do you get there?
We're flying out Thursday morning. We've got all our stuff out there from Anago, so.
Oh, okay. So you guys will be able to just pull in and get dialed in. Hopefully they'll have Rod pit setup already dialed in.
I know. I was telling about Hot Rod setting up the pits for us.
I know. He's not even going as our trucker. We use a Hot Rod semi to pull my trailer back there. And I think he shed a tear seeing it pull out the driveway and he wasn't behind the wheel of it.
I think he did too. He got that thing polished up nice and clean lately.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What kind of truck is it? I'm always interested in what people drive.
I don't know much about semi trucks, but it's a Kenworth.
Oh, nice. I feel like those in the Peterbilts are like the top dogs.
Yeah. It looks just like a Peterbilt, like a long-nosed Peterbilt, but it's Kenworth.
Why do everybody love those Peterbilt long noses so much? Just because it's like iconic?
Beats me.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the trucker world, but I mean, have you seen them where they like put them on bags and drop axles?
Yeah.
And they're all full. Insane. They get tricked with those things.
Oh, well, Kyle Kill or whatever his name is on Instagram says RJ's a big truck guy, but he doesn't know anything about trucks.
I'm a big little truck guy, not a big truck guy.
Big half-ton guy?
Yeah.
Hey, have you ridden your mini bike at all lately?
No, it's just been sitting. It actually loaded in the... If you saw the way it was loaded in my semi right now, you'd want to repo it.
Oh, really? You flipped it over and just slammed it in there, threw it where the chairs go?
Just about. We had 2 pit bikes, and those were the last things we loaded. And, oh, man. They didn't fit, but we made them fit because we have 2 full trucks, all of our awning, and 2 races worth of bodywork all upstairs because that's the only spot you could really fit stuff in my semi. So it's like packing 20 pounds of stuff in a 15-pound sack. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, dude, totally. Oh, it's Dune and Destroy, Kyle. What's up, Kyle? How are you, man? So, that means that you guys probably have Ronnie's truck in there as well, huh?
Yep, Ronnie's truck and the Pro 4. So neither of them really fit in there. So we have to shoehorn them in there.
Are either of the Anderson brothers racing any UTVs up there?
Not at this Crandon. Ronnie's going to bring his Razor to the last Crandon. So because he's racing Texplex this year, they have way different rules. So we have to do a bunch of work to his car to make it legal to race out there. So if it was easy, just take it there, we would have brought it. But we have to go through so much work. He just raced Texas this last weekend, actually.
Yeah, how do you do? Because I saw
a bit of work.
I saw he was ripping, dude.
God, I swear Texas hates us. It hates us. And I don't know why. We never did anything to Texas, but he's having a good week. We've had some tough luck out there this year, he has. And qualified first, won his heat race, and was running second behind Hunter Miller in the main event and blew a belt.
Oh, dude.
So, and he hasn't blown a belt in a short course car in probably 2 years. So, just a freak deal. I don't know if we just don't know what happened there, but it was just like, you got to be kidding me.
Hey,
he didn't have bad luck. He had no luck at all.
So we're getting a couple comments coming in. I'm going to ask you the question, but before that, at very least, you got some fantastic hats when you guys went to Texas.
Oh, Stanley, man. If you ever in Wichita Falls, Texas, you got to stop by. I don't remember her store name, but her name's Stanley, and she will fit you up so nice. She just takes one look at you, picks off the hat. She has, 150 different styles in there, and she'll tell you which one to get, and she'll crease it to your face and send you on your way.
Yeah, and
awesome.
Also, when I was talking to Ronnie and Miles about this, she's about 150 years old as well, and she just loves doing it.
Yep, about 150 years old, and she picked out $25 cowboy hats for everyone and set me up with a nice $120 hat.
Dude, see?
Wild.
Yeah, so you got to meet Stanley, and these hats are fantastic too. Hey, so everybody keeps asking how the knee's doing, and we need an acupuncture update, please.
Did you see my story this morning? So
no, Seth tried to show it to us while we were driving. I almost got in a crash.
Oh yeah. So, last week I was loading the semi, and I know I'm getting old because of all the injuries and stuff I've had of my life. I picked up 3 folding, just like lifetime folding chairs, and went to pick them up and put them in the upper deck of my semi. Back instantly thrown out, like worst back pain I ever had. Instantly, I knew I am in bad shape.
Brutal.
So I kind of trucked out for a couple days. I'm like, oh, this has got to go away. It wasn't going anywhere. It's just like a sharp shooting pain, like had to be nerve or something, because I mean, it wasn't, what I picked up wasn't heavy at all. So I started going to acupuncture just to try to help it. And it seems like every time, I just went for my 3rd time today. And it seems like every time I've gone, it's gotten a little better. So today I was walking out of acupuncture, and my knee, they put like needles right behind, you lay flat on your stomach, and it's like a dry needling. And they put needles like in my knee, the backside of my kneecaps. And I'm walking out of acupuncture. I'm like, my left knee is absolutely killing me. So I sit in my truck, and I'm like, dude, this is like, what is going on? I look at my left knee. The needle is still in my knee. So when I sat down in my truck, I like closed my knee like that, and I just shoved the needle like all the way into my knee. They're like barely in there in the nerve. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It's the whole back of my knees now swollen. At least my back doesn't hurt anymore. It's my knee.
Dude, hey, I'm a big proponent of acupuncture, actually.
Yeah, so I'm pretty surprised. Like, I didn't know what to expect, and I just kind of went easy the first couple times, like not knowing what to think, and giving it a shot. So I just went for my 3rd time, and I'm surprised like how much looser my body feels. I was pretty surprised.
You didn't know what to expect, like you're getting a needle left in your knee, and pulling out your truck. Did you just pull it out and throw it out, or what?
Yeah, it's sitting in the center console of my truck. I'm gonna return it next time I go.
It's out in front of a strip mall in Menifee.
Oh man, yeah.
You can't read. So, I don't know who just said that in the comments because it already passed by, but you really can't make that stuff up at all, dude. That's hilarious. No. Hey, no. I am actually glad that your knee is feeling a little bit better, dude, because that stuff's gnarly after you get that done.
Oh, dude, and the acupuncture, I hate needles. Needles are like, I don't do needles. I don't know why. Of all things in life, like needles are my like enemy. And so it took me a little bit. I'm like, dude, my back hurts so bad. I got to do something. And it's not bad. And I guess the reason why it doesn't bug me is I can't see the needles. I just know that they're going in my back.
Right.
But today I fully saw the needle when I had to pull it out of my kneecap.
Brutal.
Are you still going back though?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a little bit because I have about 3 weeks on the road now, but
yeah,
we'll see if I muster up the courage when I come back.
DMC Colley, I think his name is, just said you're the real reason he didn't go to acupuncture and to get his neck this morning. He went to urgent care for a steroid shot instead.
That's our boy Derek, dude.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, that's Derek. If you want to stop by my house, I got one in stock.
You can hook him up, half price.
He knows a great place.
Yep. I know right where to put it in your knee.
And it's his neck that hurts.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh, that is perfect. Well, I'm sure that you guys are going to have an awesome time up in Crandon this weekend, James.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see you up there, too. Is there any way that we can check it out live?
They do live streaming on the Champ Offroad website. Okay,
perfect. So you guys can all check it out. You can watch RJ battle in his truck, and then or trucks, and then you can also watch James battling it out in his UTV too. So we wish you guys both good luck this weekend. Yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on, RJ.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Always a good time chatting it up with you guys. And James, I will see you in a couple days, buddy.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, homie.
Right on. See you
guys. Good luck this season, brother. Good talking to you.
Thanks. See you guys.
And I feel bad for his knee.
That's brutal.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
That's like a nightmare horror story, dude. Like, that's terrible.
That is pretty crazy.
Just punches it right into his knee.
Straight to the back it sounded like, too.
Well, I've actually had a needle left in me leaving acupuncture, too, but I didn't walk out all the way. I, knew it was there, so I just pulled it out myself and threw it in the trash before I took off. So that's pretty crazy. Steroid shot might have been better for RJ this morning. Hopefully he goes back and gets a little bit better treatment. Did you ever have any treatment like that after your spinal cord injury?
At Craig Hospital that I was at, they had an acupuncturist come in a couple times if you wanted it. And I did it twice, and it was... I didn't end up learning too much about it, but one thing I do remember, I don't know what it was, I don't know if you've had the same experience. They put a needle like right in between like your eyebrows.
Yep.
And that put me to sleep like I just had 100 sleeping pills.
Really?
Wild.
Yeah, it was and I figured if it worked that good on just that, it's obviously doing something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the acupuncture that I went through, like right as I came back from my injury, was they did acupuncture everywhere, and I remember it was like in my neck, and the first time I went in there, I probably had, I don't know, 50 needles or 100 needles in me. Like they had them everywhere, ears, face, everything. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I've never done LSD, but this has got to be the closest thing ever because it released so many endorphins in me. I swear to God, I saw the brightest colors I've ever seen in my life just sitting there in the little acupuncture room because all of the nerves, endorphins, and all this stuff just came out of my body. And then, like, when I left, I felt the most calmest, like, most chill I've ever felt in my life. I've never felt anything like that before. It was crazy. But that's the only time I've ever felt that. Every other time I've been to acupuncture, it's just been the relief of the local area.
And that's interesting.
It was really crazy. I think she just went ham on me the first time or something. Like, just maybe she wanted me to, like, freak out or something. Who knows?
Yeah, she knew you were first time, or she saw you coming and said, "Oh, I got this guy."
But I'm a huge proponent of that alternative medicine, no matter what it is. So I really, really like that stuff. So when RJ said he was doing it, I mean, even though he had a bad experience today, I really strongly suggest that he go back because I think it'll help him.
Yeah, probably.
No, I think it's good to try a little bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, yeah, that was pretty awesome. Thanks to RJ for joining us. He's been so pissed.
Yeah, no kidding. I would have too.
So, what are you looking forward to the most? You've done so much work, James, with your car, your setup, your version 1900 of the setup that you have. Going to Crandon, what are you looking forward to the most when you get on the track? Like, what are going to be some of the things? Like, are you just going to be like, you know what? I don't even have to worry about the car now. I can focus on driving.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, especially, it's kind of nice sending everything back to the Midwest about a month ago, and I'm not seeing it until after Labor Day. So it's kind of nice that we don't really have to worry about the car except for when we're there. And I think being a little bit older now, you can really just go and appreciate the experience for what it is. And it feels like I've done all the work that it can do now, and even on the driving, I've done all the driving work I can do to make my driving better. And at this point, it's just go and enjoy how good the car is right now and enjoy the skills that I have right now and take a couple notes after the fact, but just race to the best of what's available to me right now and then come back and regroup.
Well, like you said, or like we said before, like you're always looking to get better and make things better, but it really is going to be super cool when you're able to actually just use the car and drive it. Because you've gotten that a couple times, but it hasn't been very frequent, right?
Yeah, I'd say middle of last year, once I was finally able to get my brakes working good. And I'm sure you've seen the pictures that the Razor brakes that Chuck's built for Miles and sells them to a lot of the racers. Once I put those on my car, I was able to actually get the wheels to lock up versus having it slowly drag and running into the car in front of me.
Yep.
And being able to steer a car and also stop a car when I want has finally given me a car that does what I want it to do, so I can go out and enjoy it versus always having in the back of my mind how I need to manipulate my driving around a car that's not working all that well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to talk about a couple different things about the car, because I have a couple more questions I want to ask you, but maybe you could give us a little bit of an understanding of the car that's in the background. So this car was built for you, but it was built to do what type of racing?
So that's my Turbo S, and I bought it probably 2 years ago. I ordered it from Polaris, and the whole plan was to basically build a practice car that if I wanted to race the Turbo class, I can. But mostly I wanted to have a car that was that much faster than my race car to make my race just not feel as intense. And those Turbo S's are just bulletproof. So I wanted something I didn't have to maintain as much when I drove it. And that's kind of turned into a little bit of a Swiss Army knife for us. I've got the long travel regular setup with the big tires on it for when I go out to the desert. I've got a short track setup, and what you're looking at right now, it's a pavement setup, and there's a track out just outside of Vegas called Speed Vegas. And they have a membership program. You could go and get a membership there, and then you could bring out your car. So like there's guys bringing Corvettes and everything all the time. And instead of me building another car to try to learn more car control, we decided, hey, let's see if we could just lower this car on the ground, put some street tires on it, and see
it looks
if
so
that
aggressive.
works.
It's cool.
It's cool, and it's actually a ton of fun. It's been putting faster times, except for like the long straightaway, faster than the Corvettes and the Porsches out there. So everyone's
Really?
like, what
That's
is
nuts.
this thing? And it's tricky to drive because it's so twitchy with the amount of grip it has. But it's nice to be able to go and run it from 7:30 to 10 a.m., come back to work, and you don't have to hose it off and wash it down. So that's the form that it's in right now, and it's just been a practice car to put hours in and get some more seat time.
How does it feel driving on pavement with your current setup with the different steering units and things like that with it on pavement instead of on dirt? Because it's different, right?
It's scary twitchy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because you're going, I think we were going about 90 is the fastest we got it down the straightaways. And then the car's starting to shake out because it's so twitchy, and we have a really tight ratio gearbox in it. So it goes lock to lock in 3/4 of a turn.
Sheesh.
So I've got my hand braced up on the steering wheel, just kind of like barely nudging it. And especially on the pavement.
Like super finesse then?
Oh, yeah. Because on the pavement, once you get the car to, like the chassis gets a little unbalanced because it's not all independent like a road car. It'll land back down on itself if you pick up one of the tires, and then it starts shaking on you.
Oh, because it wants to pull back the other way.
Yeah, so it's a really good lesson in driver's finesse. So it's been a really cool tool to just learn how to drive better, and it's fun to
That
do
is
something
super
different.
cool, yeah. I can only imagine it's going to help in the off-road stuff.
It helps a ton, just lines and understanding what your car is doing. It's helped a lot so far.
Dude, I don't know about you, Rob, but I'd like to take that thing out on the track.
Absolutely.
That thing looks super cool, man.
Oh, I'd love to get a handful of guys with the same setup and do like a rally cross type deal or something. I think that'd be a blast.
That would be
Dude,
wild.
That would. Hey, I've been trying to link you up with my friend Mario Bonfante. He's got a different injury than you, but it's similar, and he actually shows people how to drive, but he races street cars as well, and he's got a whole crazy steering setup too.
Yeah, we've messaged a handful of times. He's got a really cool hand control setup. He's
It's
put so much thought into
super
that.
cool. Yeah, it's super cool the way that he does it, man. I always think it's so awesome that the things people come up with out of necessity. Well, I guess it's not a necessity to go race. It's just a necessity for that person.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know I don't know if I would be creative enough to do that. Would you, Rob?
I mean, it definitely takes some thinking outside the box, and then not even just having the idea, but the ability to actually freaking do it.
To
You know
execute
what I mean?
it, yeah.
The know-how and the have the tools available. Yeah.
Well, James maybe had the know-how, and then he just gave it to some of his buddies to execute it, right? Well, James, so one of the things that I wanted to ask you was, it's pretty clear that you never give up, that you're always looking forward, and you're always really striving to be the best person that you can be. But how do you keep that drive always to push forward, man, even when, like, life throws you lemons? Because you got hurt, but that's not all. Like, life always comes at you, right? Like, you've had negative experiences since your injury as well. Like, how do you push past all that stuff?
What I would say, I don't really think about a lot of this too much, but because it just ends up being a habit. But what I would say is, it seems like what I've noticed when there's the bad things, that they're basically going to be there no matter what you decide to do about it. And luckily, I've seen what it's like on the other side of projects and the other side of things that just feel like you're in the dark tunnel. And I know I was talking to a friend of mine about this on Saturday that's having a little bit of an issue with some things right now. And I think just remembering after being through it a handful of times that when you're in the middle of it, it seems like there's no way out. But then you know how good it feels like when all that's memory behind you. And I think I've had enough experiences to feel the both. So even from when I was younger, learning on the motorcycle throughout the injury, I know what it's, or even like building a car late at night at the shop, and then a month later it actually works. I know what the end of that struggle ends up feeling like, so then it's a little easier to go through it, just remembering what that's what that could turn into.
So you always look that far forward, like you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and make sure that you're focusing on that instead of focusing on the immediate negatives.
Yeah, and just making sure that I'm doing what I could do to make that turn out in a way that I'll be happy about.
Yeah, and no matter what it is, probably, even if you're in a long line at the grocery store, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, don't you think it would be cool if all of us thought like that, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, I've come across people and stuff, and I just wish they could see their potential and just get that drive, man. Like, once you taste that victory and you have that vision of what's coming, it's just, or what something could be, and seeing that potential through, You know, we all want the best. I mean, I'm assuming you guys are great dudes, so we all want the best for the people in our lives.
Whatever, yeah,
You
whatever
know,
it
I
is.
just wish that, but you can't make the decision for somebody. They've got to have that drive and that grit, and that doesn't come to everybody.
That is a fantastic way to put it. Like, they do have to have that drive and that grit, and it's really hard to have that drive all the time. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you get a late 2 a.m. work sesh going on. The next day, you're like, fuck, I just want to sleep. But
Oh, yeah.
that's crazy, man. It's cool that you do have that, though. Like, do you get a lot of that, the support from your family? Does that give you drive, too?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, like I've seen how my parents and other family members have gone through things in the past. And I'd say that's why a lot of it hasn't been too much of a decision for me, because I've seen just kind of from their example how they've done it.
Right.
So I just assume that that's how you go through something difficult.
Well, what's the usual way to look at that, though? Like, you're looking at it from your perspective or from somebody else's perspective?
I'm looking at it from my perspective to see just how they've gone through, I guess, difficult things in their life, whether it's been work or family or just life tragedy. It seemed to just give me a good example of how that could go versus me having to fully figure it out on my own.
Yeah, and you look at different things. Like, social media is a good platform for seeing these kinds of things, because there's a lot of positivity that comes from it, too. There's a bunch of junk, of course. But when I look at, like, your social media and stuff like that, I just get a smile on my face every time, dude. It's super cool.
Oh, thanks.
Well, we were going to invite Aaron Baker to come on and see there we go. Look at Molly Power Sports says Diesel Power.
Diesel Power, baby.
That's an inside joke, so thank you very much, Liquid Molly. I think it's probably Jason Hess over there. Liquid Molly's throwing a shout out to you, Rob. So I take so much value in understanding human traits like what you have, dude. Like, just being the person that you are and pushing forward is so phenomenal. Like, it's actually getting me a little emotional just thinking about it. But I'm so stoked for you to be able to do the things that you do, that you love, and have all the support to be able to continue on doing those things. So, like I said before, you do have a really loving and supportive family, and that is really common in motorsports, especially off-road as a whole. And it looks like all those people kind of gravitate to be around you on a normal basis.
No, it's really cool. It's I think what I've noticed is when I first went out, I mean, there's people that I've become what feels like lifelong friends with in the course of a couple weekends.
Right.
And I think what it is, and I've noticed with a lot of them, they're all people that just, if they need to, they'll just put their head down and make something happen. And I think we all see it in each other, and we're able to just, it bonds us almost before we notice that it bonds us.
Like-mindedness, I guess you could say, huh?
Well, that's what I was going to ask is, where do you, like, you can have all this inspiration, you can see the light of the tunnel, but at the end of the day, it comes down to discipline. And like I was going to be like, man, where do you get that discipline to just keep doing it over and over and over? But that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with that, it's just working in construction, you need to get up at 5:30 and just show up and go. And you don't really have a choice. And then if you get up that early, I feel like good things will happen if you just stay busy.
Jagan just, he said he's got to take off. Thanks for tuning in, Jagan. We really appreciate it. John Huppert said, race truck Jenga. Oh, maybe that's Crandon. I don't know what he's meaning by that.
Yeah, he was when RJ was on. He was talking about fitting all the stuff in the trailers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Jenga.
It totally is. And John works, I think, in the NASCAR genre. So Turbo S is a great platform on my second one. There's the 4-seater Turbo S's. I saw a brand new one the other day. Those things are pretty sick.
They're cool. The Turbo S is it's out of the box. It feels like you're buying a 450. They're just a great car.
Really? There you go. That's a good way to put it.
That's awesome.
George, come to Oregon? Oh, yeah. I definitely want to go up there to Oregon. I don't think I'll be able to make it this time, but I'm going to go to the second comment.
Drop them out.
We were talking about dropping them out earlier. I think I am gonna go to the one down the UTV takeover down in Utah, though. I think that'll be a pretty fun event to go to, and plus it's a little bit more my time frame. And maybe I'll drop them out for you when I get there.
There you go.
All right. So what's in the future for you, James? Like maybe give us a little bit of a immediate future and then like a 2022 future.
I'd say throughout the rest of the year, immediate future, it's figure out how to do this travel schedule and just enjoy the experience of doing the Midwest races, and while making sure work's going good and that's not getting left too much on the back burner.
Right.
2022, I'm curious what a lot of the race series end up doing. If gas ends up having a couple more rounds, or just what ends up happening on the West Coast, because it's a lot of travel doing the Midwest. I would do it again, but it's kind of nice driving 3 hours instead of flying across the country.
Big time.
So a lot of it depends on what the race schedules end up looking like, and just right now, anybody that works in construction knows that it's busier than ever. So
it's crazy because
trying to stay on top of that.
Stuff is so much money, and construction is still that busy.
Yeah.
It's freaking, it's bitching though. All right, before we get into our rapid fire Q&A, well, actually, we'll have both of you guys do the rapid fire Q&A. But I saw this on another podcast, the Whiskey Throttle Show, and it was pretty meaningful to me when they asked this question. When you're all done doing all this racing stuff, and it's further down the road in your life, what do you want to be remembered for?
I say the racing's kind of the racing. It just is what it is, and you have good experiences with people. Same with work. Like, there's accomplishments that happen there, but it's not really. It's things that come and go. So I'd say.
Yeah, it's like you're changing the world racing a car.
Yeah. I'd say just being a good friend with those people close around me. If they could look back on my life and think that, that's something I'd probably be more happy about than anything.
Yeah, I think so too. Just being a good person overall, and just making sure that you're treating human beings in general good. Ashley Wayne gives a couple hearts, and the Dune and Destroy guys. So they must have already smoked a car up there in Oregon. By the way, I need an upper control arm. Does anybody have one? We probably have a couple in Southern California. We probably have more than one upper control arm, but we're not in Oregon, bud.
Big Mike Gardner, what's up?
What's up,
Thanks
Mike?
for
How are
tuning
you?
in, man.
Yeah, really appreciate it, buddy. Cooler on the Tundra now. Yeah, it's cooler in the Tundra, and it's freaking 110 here in Vegas. All right, you guys want to get into this rapid-fire Q&A real quick?
You gonna do him first then me, or just one at a time per question, or?
How about I asked both of you guys, and you have to answer as well?
Okay.
Is
yeah.
that cool?
Yeah.
Let's let James answer first.
Sure.
You can go second. Is that cool? Have you answered most of these before in your other show? I think it was
I
different
did a
questions.
handful of rapid fires with you, so you might have some new ones in there.
Okay. Well, we'll see what it is anyway. So, all right. First question is, James, you go first. Hard shell or soft shell tacos?
Soft.
Going soft shell tacos?
Oh,
what's
absolutely.
your like all-time taco?
The one I told you about, this place called Los Tacos right up the streets.
Yeah.
Probably one of my more favorite.
What kind of meat is it?
There's a carne asada one that's really good, and there's al pastor that's really good.
Ooh, that does sound pretty good.
But I'd say you still can't beat one of the random street tacos in Ensenada.
Dude.
Oh, dude.
I tell you what.
I've only been to Rosarito, but it's not too far north. I can tell you they're good there.
What's your pick on hard shell or soft shell,
Hard.
Rob?
I like a good crunch on my shell.
Yep.
Not the store-bought crap. I want that thing fried in oil.
Yeah, the tacos Dorados.
Yep.
Cholula or Tapatio?
Tapatio.
You going Tapatio?
Same, hands down.
Tapatio, got it. Oh, well, here we go. Chicken or carne asada?
Carne asada for sure.
All day?
I'd say asada too.
Dude,
I
I've
usually
been
get
on a
one of-
chicken kick lately.
I usually get one of each, dude. Because
really?
if the chicken's bomb, it's killer.
So I was telling my family this. Yesterday I wanted to get, like, for some reason I was just in a shredded chicken mood. So I was going to make my own burrito. I think I told you guys this morning as I come up. I want shredded chicken, guacamole, potatoes or french fries, whatever it is, a whole grip load of cheese, and then maybe some vegetables thrown in there too. I feel like that would be so. Oh, jalapenos in there. That'd be good.
Oh, yeah.
Those would kill me on the way out. I couldn't do it.
Dunes or the river?
Ooh, I'd say the river.
You're going river? Oh, yeah, just because it's hot as shit here, huh?
Yeah, the water sounds nice.
I'd say both, but I mean, if I had to pick, I don't know, the dunes, just scratch that motorsports itch, full throttle stuff, you know.
You're
race
just
gas.
going to wait till it's a little cooler out,
Yeah,
though.
oh, definitely.
Three-wheeler or quad? Oh, I think you did answer this one.
Yeah.
What is it this time?
I missed the three-wheeler, so it's so it'd be quad for me.
Yeah, so you're going quad too, Rob?
Yeah.
Barsha, or no, I'm not going to pick Barsha or Roxon this time. Since it was so freaking duel of the death this weekend, Cincerillo or Tomac?
I'd say Tomac. He's just like a machine.
Dude, I'm not going to spoil. I'm not even going to say anything else. So what about you, Rob?
Adam, for sure.
You're going Adam?
When I worked for Monster, he and Malcolm Stewart were the two nicest guys ever, dude. Like, meeting those two guys.
Yeah, super good.
Genuinely cool dudes.
Oh, that's weird. Dune and Destroy would pick Dunes to go to the Dunes.
Yeah, shocker.
Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
I'd do the jalapenos.
I changed that one up on you.
You did.
What are you going
I'm
with, Rob?
poppers.
Poppers all day. Coffee or tea?
Ooh, I'd do a coffee.
What kind?
Just anything. Just no cream, no sugar.
Oh, you're not all bougie like Maddie Wedeking, Starbucks, and all this
No.
other extra. What about you,
just
Rob?
a little bit. That's it.
Coffee with just a little vanilla creamer.
Nice. Favorite soda?
Honestly, just like a sparkling water. Just like
That's what you're going with?
Yeah, the Tapatios, or not Tapatio, the Topo Chico. The
Yeah, they were drinking those in Mexico.
it's so bubbly it'll make you sneeze every time you open the bottle.
Really?
Oh,
That's
yeah, it's
awesome.
good,
I gotta
yeah.
try that.
Yeah, they were drinking them down there.
Yeah?
I didn't take
I've
a sip
never
of
heard
them.
of it.
I
It's
had
like
a
a Mexican sparkling water. It's good.
Yeah, I had a LaCroix, and I felt so bougie. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
just full steel pinky, and I was
Yeah.
like, yep, I've made it. I've made it.
LaCroix's in Mexico, baby.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I'll let Rob go first. And
Teleportation, to be able to go anywhere I wanted at any time.
There's
would
been a
be-
few people that have answered that way. Have you seen the movie Jumper?
Yes.
That
Great-
movie is
great movie.
insane cool.
With Bruce Willis and stuff?
no,
Is that
I don't.
The one?
No, it was with a young kid, but he can like jump to different
I'm thinking
places.
Looper.
No, it's called Jumper.
But yeah, I've seen Jumper too.
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah, rad
cool.
movie.
Where are you going with
Both
your
are good.
superpower?
actually, I'd say flying. If you look at a drone video, those little first-person perspectives, that'd be cool to be able to do that.
Just with your eyes?
Yeah, well, no, be like actually to be able to fly and do like zip around like that.
Yeah, that would be super
How
cool.
fast
man.
though? I mean, if you hit something, you're toast.
Oh yeah, just don't hit something.
Just
Hey,
don't hit something.
Yeah.
So speaking of drones, I really appreciated you getting me that footage, but Jakey Betta sent me the real one.
Oh, good.
He got me
oh,
the
he sent
total.
you the good one.
Yeah, so Jakey Betta's been on the show before, and he's a first-person drone guy, but he's got some fantastic footage of you, man. We used it in the intro for the show, so you guys have to watch that again if you want to check it out. Most memorable race or event?
I'd say, I think I said it in the last show, it was my first short course race in Elsinore.
Yeah.
You know, I was with Shelby and Hot Rod, and I remember pulling back to the track, and I just had this moment before everybody came back, and I'm like, that was the coolest thing that I've been able to do in the last, I don't know how many years. It felt just like a motocross
Yep.
race, and then out there with a bunch of friends, people that cared about me to like just help make it all happen.
Rad.
And I was like, there's no way that I'm not going to have this a part of my life.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
awesome.
you get hooked immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super cool. The Do and Destroy guy said poppers for sure. Yeah, I feel like that's like a no-brainer because we had it pizza rolls or something else, and everybody's choosing pizza rolls, and now everybody's
Poppers
ditching
for
pizza
sure.
rolls. Yeah. So I keep just upgrading them a little bit to change
Oh,
people's
yeah.
answers.
Just a little tweak.
Yeah, and the Do and Destroy guys are going T also. What was your most memorable race or event, Rob?
I'd have to say this last year at Sebring. It was tough after I let go from K&N for 6 months and to be picked up by Liquid Molly, rocking and rolling, and finally get back to a racetrack after COVID. And on such a legendary track, walking in the shadow of legends like Carroll Shelby and Bruce
I've
McLaren
always
and those
wanted
guys.
to go to Sebring too.
Oh man, some tears escaped for sure, man. I was misty-eyed.
Dude, could you imagine taking this car behind us out to Sebring?
Rip
That'd
it.
be cool.
Holy
Rip
smokes!
it. Take it down the corkscrew at Laguna Seca, man.
Holy!
Yeah, I'd love to get on that
Could
track.
you feel how like the weight changes and shifts and the
Oh,
corkscrew
yeah.
would be? That would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be awesome with those tires on there. Heck yeah, dude.
Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip.
All day.
Mint chip too.
You guys are boring, dude.
What's yours?
Well,
Moose Tracks? It is, isn't
no.
it?
Well, I was gonna actually say sherbet, but it's not sherbet. It's like there's no H in it in the name. Like I got corrected the other
sorbet,
day. Like,
that one?
no, it's not sorbet either. We're just
Just
everybody
like
who's.
rainbow sherbet or whatever. I always called it sherbet.
How do you say sherbet?
No, there's sherbet, and then I think is sorbet. It's one I
Right.
always see like on the strip.
Okay, you're totally right about the sorbet thing, because that's just like ice or whatever. Like the, but sherbet is the wrong way to say it. I got schooled on this so hard the other day. Like they nailed me to the floor with
Who's
this.
the Karen that was nailing you on
No,
that?
it wasn't a Karen. It was Caden Danbury, and he was totally right because he had proof for it, and he showed me it. And I was like, dude, so every single one of me, my friends, my family has been saying this wrong their whole life. So
Forever.
not even joking. I'm not going to be the guy that schools you guys on it, but you guys are saying it wrong too, just like I was.
He's
So
not going to school us, but he's going to
Glad
school
we're all
us.
together in that.
Caden totally owned me on it. So
That's right.
let's see here. Flavor of ice. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs.
All day. My sister has cats, though, so I should probably say cats. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Netflix.
What do you watch on Netflix?
I'm super
Drive to
boring.
Survive?
Well, no, that show's awesome.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
Did you
Still
watch that?
haven't watched it yet. I'm stuck on Blacklist, dude. It's getting so deep right now.
How far are you in the Blacklist? I
Season
thought
6, dude. It's getting juicy.
it's that juicy. Dude, you got to watch Drive to Survive. What are you watching on
have to.
Netflix right now?
I'm super boring, and Chloe's gonna make fun of me for this one over there. But I just watch history documentaries usually.
Really?
No,
They're
that's
like
rad.
those little animated, or not animated, like the
You
dramatized
just marked right
ones.
up Rob's alley, though.
Yeah,
You watch the what?
like those dramatized ones. They're super cheesy, but it like gives you a good like view of the story.
Dude, absolutely. Like, especially like World War II and Vietnam stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you ever
yeah.
watch Vietnam in HD?
I didn't see that one
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Dude,
gonna
they
put
have
that on
some
my
killer
list.
documentaries.
You guys are
on
definitely going to text message later.
it.
yet. Oh,
dude.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you
Check
see
this
one?
out.
Heavy stuff. It's rad.
All we're going to see is stories on your guys' Instagrams of just showing each other new cool Netflix to check out. Supercross or motocross?
Supercross. I like the timing in it.
Same.
Yeah.
When it's not the Triple Crown or whatever stupid setup, I like seeing all the racing.
Yeah.
With the
If you
heats
guys
and
had
all that.
watched motocross on this last weekend, you would definitely not pick Supercross. You would have totally picked motocross. I'm still going to pump this event just so you go
All
home
right.
and don't watch a documentary and just watch
Oh,
motocross.
good. That'll give me a good reason to watch something different.
Yeah, exactly. Chloe's going to have to give you permission to watch it, though, huh?
Oh, she'll be into it.
What other form of racing would you like to try other than taking this thing to Sebring?
I think if I was unlimited budget, able to have the wherewithal to pull it off, Indy, just because the performance, the history, everything to it, I think doing like IndyCar racing would be a cool thing to be able to do.
That would be pretty cool. What would you pick, Rob?
You know, I don't know. I mean, part of me would want to do like some like IMSA racing would be really bitching, but even just some UTV off-road, man. I'd really like to cut my teeth on that one of these days, and
We might know a guy who still does it. You could get some tips from.
shoot, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I might have if I find him.
So I kind of changed my tune on this a little bit the other day. I was thinking DTM would be super cool to do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would love to get in a DTM car because I feel like that's like pretty close to F1, but it's like
Okay.
a little bit more, well, not a little bit more affordable, but a little bit more street-esque.
Gotcha.
I think that'd be so fun. Tacos or burgers?
Tacos.
That's tough, dude. But I think tacos, yeah, because there's too many places that are screwing up burgers. It's becoming a problem.
It's a huge
That
problem.
used to be my go-to. All my friends would be like, "Oh, we know Big Rob's getting the burger, baby, because we got to try them everywhere." But it's been bad lately.
What's your favorite place to get a burger then?
I mean, the best place I've ever had was this place called The Keg up in Inglewood, Washington.
Really?
Had a prime rib burger that was freaking phenomenal.
Dude,
But,
that sounds gnarly.
oh, it was killer.
We used to have this place in Arizona called Monkey Burger.
Oh, really?
Blow your mind.
That sounds tasty.
What about you for hamburgers?
Burgers at this, actually, of all places, this Mexican restaurant I went to the other day, they had a, like a new Mexican green chili burger,
Really? That
which
sounds
was
pretty
really
good.
good, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that Mexican restaurants actually do cook really good hamburgers. Hey, so you want to hear a funny story? So I did all those like little lifestyle videos down in Baja. And so this week I have to go do 2 taco reviews in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how funny is that? I thought that was pretty interesting that they were thinking that I was that hardcore.
You're the guy, dude.
Dude, I'm not the guy, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably choke and they'll be like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
The chips and guac.
100%,
All day.
All day.
Yep, all day. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time with us, James, to hang out at your shop. And just, I mean, everybody has such good things to say about you, the family, everybody, man. So we can't wait to see what happens in the future with you.
100%.
No, it's been a fun break having you guys come down, and we got to do it again another time.
Yeah, at least you got to step away from your desk for a little while,
yeah,
right?
no kidding.
And then you leave Thursday to go to Crandon.
Yep.
And, man, we wish you good luck up there. I think it's going to be so fun for you to get out there and race.
Oh, thanks.
Cut your teeth at a new track.
It's going to be cool. I'll keep you guys updated on it.
Yeah, please do. Please keep everybody updated on the social media. What's your social media tag, just in case everybody wants to follow you?
It's j.jaramillo939.
Oh, okay, cool. So they can look at you anytime on Instagram. Slide into his DMs, hang out, ask him questions on what you guys want to do. I know that there's a lot of people. Matt's Bar in Minneapolis, Juicy Lucy. Oh, so he's got the full hamburger over there. So if you're ever in Minneapolis, you know where to go. Yeah, so if you want to check it out, go hang out with James. Even if you have questions, I know there's been a lot of people lately that have been asking me questions about having an adaptive UTV for whatever illness or issue that they need to adapt in their UTV to be able to go ride. I think it's fantastic that everybody's getting out and doing all this stuff. So if I can't answer a question, maybe I'll direct you over to James or even Mario or whoever.
Yeah, especially with that, feel free to contact at any time because it's cool to have other people get the experience. And my friend's shop, a little plug, is Ironborn Offroad out here in Las Vegas, and he has a really cool set of hand controls for most abilities.
Awesome.
Dude, that would be the perfect time to enter Ironboard Off-Road.
Yeah. For all your UTV needs.
Yep, exactly. So we really appreciate James being a part of the show, man. You've been a part of the show since day one, and I really, really am stoked that you've been hanging out with us, and you've even given me some constructive criticism on how I can make the show better and stuff like that. It's awesome, dude. I really appreciate all your family's support.
Well, it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, it's been cool. 90 episodes, dude. I can't believe it.
Awesome.
Next show's guest, we got Max Eddy. You know who Max is?
I don't.
Max is an awesome driver or rider now. So he's been kind of been Ricky Brabeck's guy. Like Ricky Brabeck and him used to always ride together. Now he's teamed up with Craig Scanlon a little bit to be able to do some Polaris stuff. He got a Polaris contract after using the RS1 that I built for the UTV World Championship. Craig let him borrow it and take it to the Sonora Rally, and he almost won that sucker.
Oh, wow.
In that same car. He made a few adjustments, made it the way that he wanted it, and he got a Polaris ride out of it. So
that's cool.
Max Eddy is a fantastic human being altogether and an insane driver, so it'll be cool to have him on the show and kind of get more of his backstory. You can always check us out anytime you want at The Dirt Life Show on Instagram. I know a lot of people watched the show tonight, so we really appreciate you guys taking the time with us. You can always slide into our DMs, too, ask us any questions, give us suggestions on shows, questions you guys have, or anything that would help the show as well. You can check us out on iTunes, Spotify, every single network, Google Play, to get your audio information. I know that's the way James listens to it. And you can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram for any of the video content as well. So we're always live every Monday at 5 p.m. We might switch that up next month, but anyways.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so we really appreciate all you guys joining us. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for spending the day with us, Rob. I know you're still working.
Thanks for having me out, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was super cool. Thanks for Seth for putting up with us on the way up here. He's a good sport.
Awesome.
And yeah, dude, always thank you, James.
Hey,
appreciate
thank you, guys.
it, dude.
Can we plug his business real quick? Because I just feel like there's somebody out there whose wife has been howling at her. They've been, we need the driveway repaved, or we need the sidewalk redone, or what is, you guys do it all, right?
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. Mostly we're on the commercial side of things, but it's called Stonescapes. We're out here in Las Vegas and do commercial concrete work and
What was your answer for a forest again?
Arborscape.
Arbor Escape.
Do you
That'd
do
be a
that?
great company name.
My
Or
dad's
does-
landscape company probably does.
Par 3?
If Arborscape is even the real word, it just seemed like it fit. But I feel like I've also heard it before. So.
I need to remember that.
that's
Arborscape, next up
legendary.
on stage.
Yeah. Arbor Escape to the main stage.
All right, well, thank you guys very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for living your dirt life with us. We love you. Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.